Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
In a Brooklyn fractured into speculative storyscapes.
Speculative storyscapes. We are all about that. My name is Cameron Roberson, aka Rob Cameron. I am the managing editor of the Kaleidocast, which is a production of the Brooklyn Speculative Fiction Writers. And the goal of the Kaleidocast is to produce amazing stories from writers here in the greater New York area, and stories from authors who we already know and love and already have a big name, and put them together to show their talent and get them paid well for it. That's the whole point of the Patreon. This video that you're about to watch of this game is all a part of our Patreon effort to pay our authors as professional rate or as close to professional rate as we possibly can here in Season 3 and then beyond into Season 4. What you're going to see here is a role play, an RPG with my friends Joshua A.C. Newman, Liam Burke, and Carlos Hernandez as we embark on an adventure inside Joshua A.C. Newman's world and game, The Bloody-Handed Name of Bronze. So I don't want to get too much into it and give it away, except to say that it is awesome. I love this game. I played it multiple times, and you're going to get a chance to play it too. One of the cool things about this game is that we've set it up so that the audience will play the part of gods and fates and named things in the world, which will have a real impact on the storytelling and the fates of the characters that Carlos and Liam and Joshua, who's playing the game as well as the creator of the game, what they decide to do in the story and if they survive the story. So this is a play test as well as a kind of a theatrical experience for everybody involved. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you do, and if you did, then you should definitely think about supporting our podcast, Patreon, Kaleidocast /Patreon, rather reverse that, Patreon /Kaleidocast .nyc. And check out the good work they're doing, get all the additional Patreon subscriber prizes. And I hope that you enjoy and keep coming back for more. My name again is Cameron Roberson, and let's get into the game. We are now live. My goodness, we're live. So live and alive in the time of Trump, or the end, actually, quite frankly. This is the end of the empire, so to speak, kind of, sort of.
I don't know. They got a lot of lawyers pulling a lot of strings that nobody knows what they connect to right now.
Well, they don't seem to connect to anything. That's the amazing thing.
That's just
They connect to Four Seasons total fucking landscape.
Did you see the furries? The furries background online?
No, chat. Yes, man, that is so awesome.
That is the best waste of time. It's not even a waste of time. It's like a piece of art. It's a piece of art.
SNL's gonna have a field day with that.
It's like life.
SNL's gonna tear that apart. Oh,
I would become a digital furry just to go there and say I've been there.
Hi everybody! We're already talking furry, so.
Well, you come for everything, everybody. I'm a little delirious here. I haven't had my rum yet, so I'm going to be a little bit off. I'm better with the everyone, my name is Cameron Roberson, Rob Cameron online and on my bylines. We are welcome to the Kaleidocast Patreon's first ever role-playing game night. We're going to have at least 2 of these, and we're going to be playing this game called the Bloody-Handed Name of Bronze. I feel like I want to say that again. I want to get some audience participation. Guys, try with me again. 3, 2, 1. The Bloody-Handed Name of Bronze. And it's this really kind of amazing game we're going to play, which is like there's almost no math involved. It's wonderful. I mean, I like math, not that much. So no ACs to worry about. It's just pure gameplay. And even though we have the designer of the game here with us, who's going to be playing with us as well. When you play this game, Joshua is going to tell you where to get this game. You don't need a DM. You don't need a game master. It's just you and your friends helping each other tell the story together. And that's one of the things I love about it. And did I already say no math? It's like there's no math. Okay, so so let me introduce the players, and then Joshua will kind of go into the the game, the world itself. So first up, let me just go through your bios. If I don't look at you, it's because I'm looking at my screen. It's not because I don't like you. Let me start with
Heavy eye contact, Cam. Heavy eye contact.
hey.
Not heavy. Wait.
Told me this should work. I'm fine. I don't understand what the problem is. Like everyone's walking away from me.
Eye contact intensifies.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start with Liam Burke. A fascination with the absurd and macabre, coupled with an overabundance of wonder at the universe, has created an author who looks to both tantalize and terrorize readers with the phrase, what if? He also tries to tenderize you as well. The tone's uttered with changes. Sorry, the tone it's uttered with changes to the tale, but in the end, it's that what's. Isn't that what storytelling is all about?
That what storytelling's all about. Yeah.
It's the rum, everyone. A father, husband, a gigantic nerd. My stories scratch the surface, guaranteed to scratch back and satisfy the itch for the speculative. My good friend of 19 years, Liam Burke. Liam, go ahead and wave. So you know which one of you is Liam Burke.
I think our relationship's almost old enough to drink alcohol.
It is old enough, isn't it? No? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, Canada.
But they won't let us in right now because.
Right. Yeah.
Because we're plague rats.
Yeah. Okay. So next is the game designer himself. Joshua A.C. Newman is a publisher, author, illustrator, game designer, graphic designer, and experimental musician. And I mentioned he also teaches full time. Right. He lives in Arkham, Massachusetts, with no cats and a suspicious pile of electronic components. Joshua A.C. Newman, thank you for giving us this game.
Oh, my pleasure.
Okay, and last and certainly not least, my friend Carlos Hernandez is the author of the Purple Belpre. Did I say that correct? Purple Pura
Belpre. Yeah.
The Belpre Award, winning Sal and Gabby Break the Universe. I have the book signed, as well as its sequel, Sal and Gabby Fix the Universe 2020, which I will also get signed, and the short story collection, The Assimilated Cubans Guide to the Quantum Century, which I also have. He is also a CUNY Associate Professor of English and a game writer and designer. His latest project is the tabletop role-playing game that he is co-creating with his wife, writer C.S.E. CUNY, who will be joining us for the next game we play. And he lives in Queens, which is New York's best borough.
Yeah!
Okay, end session.
He made you read it out loud.
Dirty pool, my friend. Dirty pool.
I don't know that we could get jabs in by writing it in our bios. That would have changed mine up.
I want to go back and write. See what else I can make you say.
Oh man, that's just rough. Okay, that's okay. We'll get back to you. Okay. So we're gonna start playing this game. Oh, just so you guys know that when we're on screen, I'm going to be sharing a screen every once in a while. This share screen I'm going to show is going to be the dice. So let me show you that this is a dice playing game, but there's not a lot that you have to worry about. So let me show you what you will be looking at when we play, and I'll show you the dice. Let's see, here is my screen. And you will not be looking at that screen. You'll be looking at this, right? So whenever we have to roll dice, and remember, there is dice rolling in the game, but it's mostly, theater of the mind that we're playing with. But we will use this dice here. And you'll see as characters have to make use of dice when they are interacting with the gods. And as of right now, there is one god in attendance. So if you are, it's monotheistic right now. So come on in and join the party. So if you're an attendee, if you're the audience, it's going to be an opportunity for you to jump in and help determine the fate of our characters here. The Carlos and Joshua are going to and Liam are going to play for you. So right now I'm going to stop sharing this screen. And I'm going to let Joshua explain the basics of the game before they get started. And then I think they're going to go into character creation, and you will see them as they're putting together their character. Let me stop sharing. Get out of here. Get out of here, toys. Do what the kid says.
Is that a tabletop that you're using for the dice rolling?
What do you mean? No, that's my phone.
It's a
Oh,
phone
it's a
app.
phone. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fancy.
All right.
Fancy.
The
so-
future is like so 15 minutes ago.
It's so hard to write cyberpunk for 2020. It's just
So I was just before coming over here, I was doing a presentation, doing a college presentation, teaching students how to play Shock, which is one of my other RPGs. And the problem with Shock is that it's for making science fiction short stories, and you cross real world social issues with a novum with a Shock, and so the problem is that those social issues are things that you really care about today, and the Shock is something that's supposed to be alien. And in the 15 years that I've been publishing it, those Shocks have moved over into the social issue, the real world social issue column.
That's so interesting. Wow.
Yep. Like,
Sounds about
is
right.
AI replacing your job really science fiction anymore? Like, we're concerned about the effects, but it's happening,
right. More
Yeah.
small and less shock.
It's like
Aw.
the screen, right?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
All right, so I should be sharing my screen to do my character sheet, right? How do I do that?
Yes. So you can simply click you should be able to click the share screen option on the bottom of the page, and then we should see your screen.
Oh, share screen. Look at that. Fabulous. And there it is.
And then you can pick which one.
Yep, that's good because I got a lot up here.
Jay says it feels weird to be a god. You haven't even done anything. Wait, smiting us?
Stop. Stop feelings.
Chill, Jay.
Well, if he was a gangster, it would feel good, but
Are you seeing my character sheet, or are
Yes.
you seeing? Okay, good.
we are.
All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start off. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and then let's just talk as we do this. So the first thing we're going to do is say if we want to play a name dealer or a fated hero. Name dealers are anywhere from like weirdo desert wizards, let's say Moses. It's sort of in the middle of the story when he flees Egypt, goes out into Ethiopia and gets himself a hot Ethiopian wife and talks to a burning bush because he gets taught stuff by his wife's dad. Right? He learns the secret language of names from his wife's dad, and then he goes back to Egypt. Right? So that's like he's like a weirdo desert wizard at that point with a mysterious past, but also you might be like a court astrologer. You might already be like a really important person. You could be like the oracle at Delphi, right? But on the other hand, you're on the run for some reason. You get all of your power by accruing debts. You owe things and things owe you. So what you're going to be doing is being on the run from your creditors and trying to solve problems, which is the only tool you've got to do that is by paying off your past debts with your future dets.
So you're a millennial, basically what you're saying.
Yes, right. It's a metaphor for being a
Venture
professional
business
artist.
millennial.
I love it.
And I will say
I hate it.
every so often somebody pulls it off and sort of acts to figure out how to play it honorably, but the world does not want you to do that. So the other kind of people are fated heroes, and those are like Gilgamesh or Samson or Achilles. Beowulf, yeah. Beowulf's an interesting example because he's very much this kind of thing, but he's right on the cusp, and you can see the Christianization happening and sort of trying to moralize him, which they did also with Heracles. You see that in ancient Greek culture as the ethical structure of Greece was changing. Heracles goes from being awesome because he's strong to all of a sudden needing some sort of moral structure. Like, why is he such an asshole? And there's a certain point where all of a sudden he went mad because Hera made him go mad. That's why he did these really kind of horrible things, right? So hence the labors of Hercules, right? There's a sort of ethicization of Heracles. So we are in the earlier Bronze Age vision of that. You are there to die so gloriously that your ancestors fear your entry into the waters of the underworld. And the catch there is that you want to die real good, and there's a track. Your destiny is sort of the quality of your afterlife, which can include you becoming immortal. but also you cannot speak the secret language of names. And if you find yourself without an oracle, bad shit's just going to happen to you because you don't know why anything is happening. And the thing is that name dealers do all this stuff where they talk a lot, right? And sometimes they do really mysterious things, and they every so often say like, listen, I gotta go, I'll be back in 3 days, and they come back and they're missing a finger, and they're like, okay, I'm glad I got that sorted out. Like, you don't necessarily know that you want to trust those guys. And just like that, the name dealers don't necessarily want to hang out with a fated hero that much, because you know who dies first when a fated hero gets into trouble is whoever's standing next to the fated hero. Nobody wants to be Patroclus, right? So name dealers have every reason to not trust a fated hero. On the other hand, name dealers on the run from somebody. Might be really good to have a guy who swings a mammoth tusk on hand. So those are the tensions in the game. I myself am going to be playing a name dealer because that's fun, and that's how I feel right now.
Man, this is gonna be 3 name dealers. It's gonna be fantastic.
Does one of us need to roll a fated hero then, or do we?
No, I will tell you that if it's all heroes, it winds up being a lot like the Iliad. There's a lot of like throwing people off of cliffs and stuff, and occasional like betrayal for love and that kind of thing. If it's a mixture, it's often very complicated, sometimes complicated beyond anybody's ability to keep track of what's going on, which is often very funny. And if it's all name dealers, it's kind of like Animaniacs.
Oh. I mean, they all sound good.
I was gonna go with Ocean's 11, but that works.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess one question I had, can you just say like 2 more words about the setting? It's early Bronze Age, but like, are there things in the world we need to know, like who's ruling whom and who's enslaved by whom, anything like that?
We'll figure it out as we go.
We'll make that up.
The rough rules for the world is there's no inherent sexual shame. There might be sexist societies, but there's no reason to assume that a society is sexist. And sort of modern ideas and scientific ideas, naturalistic ideas, and impositions like racism, that kind of thing doesn't really exist. If there are people who have turtle shells, like, oh, that's what those people are like, kind of thing. Like, what happens when they have a baby with somebody who doesn't have a turtle shell? I don't know. Do any of them have children? So
this is science fiction. It's near the future.
Yeah, right. Actually, yeah, I've occasionally thought about doing a Thundar the Barbarian hack of the
thing. You're the best! And Utla, right? Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I would say about gameplay is that, world building is that if you read the stories that are included in the in the player's handbook, there's a lot there to kind of help you imagine where you're going to be. One of the reasons why we're doing this is because Mimi Mondel wrote a story which we're publishing to the Kaleidocast, which is written in this world. So they're the ones who essentially are building the story upon which we're building our imagination. So so you can fill it with quite a bit. It's just a couple of rules as far as technology is concerned. You're not going to see, I think you're not going to see steel, for example. I don't think you would see here, correct?
Absolutely not. No.
Yep. Yeah, so that's important. So technologically, we're Bronze Age, right?
Yeah, definitely firmly Bronze Age. If there's a piece of iron, nobody knows the name of iron. That's the way it's put in the book. I will say, actually, here's another thing. We all walk around on while we're alive. There's the waters of the underworld that are underneath it, where you go to the cold and dark after you die. And there's the vault of heaven, above which is the waters of heaven, and that's where rain comes from.
That's where Jay lives, right? That's where Jay is. Is that where Jay lives?
Yeah, that's where
Jay, is that where you live? Are you
above the vault of heaven? The waters of heaven, yeah.
Listen, don't piss him off. Jay does whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, I know, Jay. Roll this out, man.
I'm sorry. And I mean, excuse me. I'm sorry to say that actually there are now 3 gods. We have no longer monotheistic.
That is 3 fates.
Oh, the gods are so far up in the waters of the sky, it be crying. Yeah, you thought it was rain.
We've been up there.
Is it like we have 2 gods and 1 god now, so it's actually still monotheism?
That's what?
Is it? I was asking. We have 3 gods, but it's actually like that Christian trick of like 3 gods, just like 1 god.
No.
These are fates.
Jay did not multiply. 2 more gods disappeared out of the ether.
I was hoping for a little game like this, but.
All right. So what we have to do now that we've got an idea. Oh wait, actually, name dealer or fated hero. Let's hear from you guys.
So I was gonna do name dealer, but I really am okay being Thundar now that I know that we're doing Thundar the Barbarian type thing. You know, like if you need a Thundar, I'm your Thundar. But I can also do name dealer, which is my first impulse. So
All right, yeah, go with your first impulse. Yep.
okay,
Thundar,
name
the
dealer,
kingdom
name
of
dealer.
Thai.
What's that? Liam?
Hmm?
Say
Oh,
it again?
Thundar from the kingdom of Thai.
Is he from the Kingdom of Thai?
No,
Oh,
but
all right.
I'm making it up. Like,
He's
just
from
one
the
on
kingdom of
Thunder
legs.
Thighs, you know, whatever. Okay, I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet now.
I thought that was like a Mighty Thieves reference.
No, I'm just a horrible punster.
I thought it was a fried chicken reference. All
All right, Liam, how about you? What you doing?
I was gonna try to bring back my name dealer from the last time that we kind of ran through because I was a fan of what he was fleeing from and why.
Yep.
So
Fabulous. All right, that's actually a thing in this. There's no reason to not bring back earlier characters, and it's not a game about accruing resources, so it doesn't matter if you have more resources than everybody else. It'll change the shape of it, but what we care about is the qualities, not, nobody's we're not leveling,
right.
So like,
Well, last time the only thing I managed to accrue was an angry skull that gets to tell me whatever it wants me to do now.
Yeah,
So it's not like I have an advantage.
right. It tends to be that way too. It tends to be some variety of trouble that you've kept along with you. All right, so on pages 30 and 31, you can find the Well of Names, and pull some syllables out of there that sound good. I am known as, you'll notice that the name dealers have a bunch of slots. It's not always a great idea to tell everybody your real name. Because you are on the run from somebody. So sometimes you just need to start adding those lists, and then hoping that you remember who you gave which name to. Good luck, by the way.
So real quick, just for those of you who are playing, who are the gods, and also people who are watching, in the player's handbook, there is a book which basically gives you a phonetic alphabet, basically of the different syllables and kind of sounds that you generally find in the area in which you're going to be playing. So while you could be Thundar, there actually are syllables that will kind of get you as close as possible to that.
I don't believe there is a dental sound at all. There's no
really no dentals. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's two, but there's no.
There's a dar. I see dar.
Yeah. It's probably it could be Tudar, Tomdar. Tomdar's not bad.
Yeah, Tondar. Yeah.
And we add to this as we come up with new syllables, as we discover them and play, like a lot of things in this game. There's a lot of margin that you can fill in your own commentary with. So if you discover more syllables in the language of names, write them down. I am shooting, and I flee.
Sorry, Joshua, are you writing right now? Whose screen am I looking at?
That I cannot tell you.
So
I am writing right now.
So
it's not mine.
Carlos, Joshua, click share. Share your screen.
Oh, am I not?
I don't see you. Oh wait, are you a faded hero? No, all I see is faded hero now. So
the name dealer should be on the right.
Okay, so Carlos, do me a favor. Would you please share your screen, and then we're going to get rid of what's here. And hopefully that will change this up, because it looks like it might be frozen. Possibly. I'm viewing Joshua's screen right now.
All right, so here I am.
Okay, good. So now, Joshua, now Joshua, go back and see, maybe that kind of unfroze you.
Oh, back to here.
Yeah, so you're gonna share your screen again.
Oh, share screen.
Mm-hmm.
We'll stop others. Oh, only one of us can share a screen at a time.
Yes.
I see. Oh, it's too bad I have a million things open.
Dun, dun, dun.
The crap.
Okay. Well, while you're trying to figure that out, Carlos, do you have an idea for what kind of name you want to go with? You can just start typing it in.
Well, I did start typing in. Can you see it?
I see Abadim Kaila.
That's my name.
We are going to have to use that name.
You can call me Abadim Faha for short.
I see.
All right, yeah. Fine. I'll be Ab. I just have one ab, so I don't work out that much.
Probably name deal. You
one
probably
there.
didn't. Okay.
All right. There. Can you see me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome.
Whoop. Now I'm a faded hero for some reason. No, faded hero. Name dealer. Here we are. My name is Shuyun. All right. So I'm going to do all these, and then why don't we go over yours in a second as once I've gone through the step. So. And I flee. Who do I flee? I flee the Bone Eater, Goshru Dob. And the Bone Eater Goshru Dob wanted me to be his herald, but fuck that guy. All right. There. Okay. So what's going to happen, if all goes well for me, the Bone Eater Goshru Dob is not somebody who will actually show up. If he does, we're going to have to figure out what his deal is. Right now, all we really need to know is he's worth just running away from. And then I have a name that aids me, and that is going to be... I don't know what that is. I'm going to think about it a little bit. So why don't you guys catch up here and tell us, share your screens and tell us who you are and who you're running from.
So Liam, since you kind of already have an idea of who you made him about 2 weeks ago, why don't you go next and give Carlos some time to think about what he wants to do?
Sure, yeah. So I will share my screen.
And while you're sharing your screen, so I just invent something just out of my ass that I am fleeing, right? Like there's no canon that I need to work from. That's correct?
That's correct. Yep.
That is correct.
And it can be weird. I really want to emphasize that it can be like a concept that's like, well, I'll just explain kind of what I've got going on.
Yeah,
so
okay.
my pre-baked take out of the oven character here. I've changed the name since I'm using the actual
Lexicon.
The actual lexicon that we have here, and we were just kind of tooling around last time. So I'm Bishul Unram, the truth speaker. Totally trustworthy all the time.
Oh.
I speak nothing but the truth. And I mean, you can trust me because I speak the truth. And I am fleeing Ulelish, the Lord under the hill, because I stole his bloody roll of debts owed by the foolish. So the idea being basically that he kind of does what name dealers do in the opposite. He gets people to do stupid stuff that they then owe him for, and then when they can't pay up, he literally gets to take their skins and kind of sew it to this long roll of skins that he's got. And I stole that because that's messed up, and no one should be doing that to anybody. And also I want their debts. But mostly nobody should be doing that to anybody. That's messed up.
So more like a chaotic good kind of alignment.
Yeah, heavy on the chaotic. And I am being aided by Lugtalshul, and he is old, beautiful, known to all, and inscribed. He is inscribed with a debt to Ulelish. And basically the reason he is aiding me is he has gotten me to agree that I should save his skin. So I stole the bloody roll. I'm on the run. I'm running from Ulelish. And as long as I'm staying at least a couple steps ahead of him, then Lugtashul does not have his skin taken. So I'm literally saving his skin.
Liam, I'm starting to get to know your sense of humor a little bit now.
To be fair, Josh helped me put that together the first time we played. It's not all me.
All right.
So just to
But
know
it's called
about
the bloody hand. Yeah, the bloody name. It's gotta have some of that in there.
So just to note something that Liam did here. This is for you, Carlos, when it's your turn to set up a character. These boxes are checked underneath, right? So those adjectives that are used to describe your character, those also tell you how many dice of a particular color you're going to be using when you play the game. So right now he has his person who's helping him is old, beautiful, and known to all. So, excuse me, I'm going to
and inscribed.
Yeah, so I'm going to share my screen, and
Come on now. Don't be like that. Here we go. So this would be the dice that he'll be using. So because he has 3 adjectives, I believe that's correct, right? Three gold dice,
4.
Joshua?
4 gold dice.
Oh, yes, 4.
I can't see the sheet anymore. I don't know.
Old, beautiful, known to all, and inscribed.
Yep. So that's 4 dice of gold. Yep.
Gotcha. And then he has these two gold black. That's that correct?
Mhm. That's correct.
Because everybody
My mortal
starts
dice
with
of jet.
yeah. So and those mortal dice of jet. And if you look at your character sheet, then you'll see that those 2 that you start with, you don't need to see that anymore. Okay, I'm done sharing.
Wait, but so just rules wise, does everybody get 6 dice and you're just deciding which ones are jet and which ones are gold, or do you?
Not necessarily.
You have
You
2
start
moral
with
dice
2.
of jet. They are your breath of life and your last breath. If you lose both of them, you are departing for the waters of the underworld. If you lose one, you are half dead, and you will discover that your options get real narrow if you don't want to die, unless you roll fantastically. Things get super risky when you're half dead, as you may have heard. So you're deciding what you want there. There's no particular reason to choose a number other than if you start off real weak as a name dealer, you're just going to have to compromise really hard and fast because you're not going to get a lot of say in things. But what happens is when you make a bad deal, things just want more from you to do what you want. Not necessarily. They might be like, I don't care. Who are you, Pisha? Right? But they also might be like, well, all right, if you think you can do this thing for me, like I'll have you over a barrel. But so yeah, go do this for me. You can still get things going your way. It's just gonna put you in a more and more awkward position. So. Right. The best number is the number that are true. I've really never found a particular good reason. And you're gonna have to play weak.
Yeah. Okay, you just cut out a little bit, but the number that's true, basically just like play the character, and if they're weak, fuck it. It's just you're role playing. It's fun.
Yeah, and I mean, and that just means that going in, you just know that you're going to have to compromise a lot.
Yeah, and also I think one of the gods just said that you might wind up in a longer contract than you wanted, and also you might end up having to make another contract with another being to help you against another being as well.
Yes, right, yep.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to try making a character, and you're all going to help me do it. Okay.
Yeah, so go ahead and share your screen.
My screen.
Share your screen. Yep.
Okay, so I've improved my name. Now my name is Ab Zum 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 repeating. So you can never say enough zums, And sometimes if you do say enough zums, I might not know that you're talking to me because I'll be like, how many zums? But Ab Zum Zum
Drive a
Zum.
Mazda.
Yeah.
Zoom.
So I'm pretty sure I flee Jay. I think I'm fleeing from Jay. Jay being our local frightening ass god.
Wait, let's find an appropriate set of syllables to represent that. So J comes out of an I. It's a Northern European letter I. So why don't we do?
I can look too, I guess.
Igya, I think is the closest we can get. IGYA.
Igyag, I feel you. Igyag.
Now I will say that
you're freaking out your god, man.
Now it might seem that so you put these together and you're like, haha, this is a silly name. There is a demon in the Enuma Elish named Humbaba. So if you can have somebody named Humbaba, who everybody, by the way, is totally terrified of. If you can have somebody be terrified of somebody named Humbaba, you can definitely be afraid of somebody named Igyag.
I totally agree. And I think, but here's the thing. I think this is really cool. I think I'm fleeing Igyag because I am Igyag's living spleen. I've basically performed an auto-splenectomy and burst out of the body of Igyag because I no longer want to be an organ in his fell purposes.
Nice. I like it.
No, you are, Carlos, I will say, you speak the language of names. You are for humans can do something weird, which is that you can write, right? So if you want to be an organ that has done that, that definitely fits into the into an origin story. But weirdly, I feel like a living spleen is more of a hero kind of origin story.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, can I? Well, I mean, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to move over to be a fated hero who is spleen
So
now,
here's
and
the
probably
thing,
spleen
like,
will return.
if you're a fated hero, then you are charged. You are told by somebody else to go do something, and that's your destiny, is to do what other people tell you to do. So that is the real question here.
I guess I was thinking more like Gogol's nose, where basically I burst out of my master's body and want to just like run around and cavort. So, what is the more cavorty of the two classes here?
That oh boy, that's a hard call. They both
It
have their
depends on
own
the kind of
proportions.
cavorting. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do like violent cavorting as a spleen, so maybe.
Or what's the other thing fated heroes do? They pursue their passion, right?
Yes, they pursue their passions. That's what was striking me about this.
Okay. I'll be a faded hero. I'll be a faded spleen. Okay. So so I have to fill this out differently now. So I'm absum zum 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 zum, and so I do the bidding. Do I do the bidding even though I fled my Igyog?
Yeah, well, you do somebody's bidding. So this is the choice that you make. You are either in debt to somebody, or you're doing somebody else's bidding.
So it could be the case that somebody I do the bidding of got you away from.
Oh yeah, who are some of the people in
Yeah,
chat?
you
bidding
forward and then realize that life on the outside of a body is not all it's cracked up to be.
I'm digging this. Okay, so I am Igyog, but who are some of the other gods in chat that I can maybe I'll do their bidding?
So there's
I'm a traitor to my own body.
So
You
there's
do hope spitting.
and there's hope.
Okay, so here
I hope.
I'm gonna
Like a
do hope.
metaphor
So,
waiting to happen.
Let's see. How can we make hope into? So I see ham, half. Is there an O? H-O?
Greek for hope, I happen to know, is Elpis. Let's see if we can get close to that.
Yeah, Al.
How about Elpe?
Okay, I'll do the bidding of Elpe. Hope that's you. Okay, so okay, and the oracle is, and who demands that I? Oh wait, so I do the bidding of. Can you spell that?
E-L. What did I just say? E-L-P-E-H. Yep.
Yeah.
E-H. Elpe.
Elpe.
As an out of character thing, so I remember. And so, who's my fucking oracle?
Oh, wait,
Hold on.
before you do that, so is he feared?
Elpe is your ancestors, what this means, in some way or another. So this is like Heracles is descended from Hera, right?
Oh,
so
okay.
Heracles has to do Hera's bidding. So Elpe is your ancestor. Now, Elpe, who is Hope, is Hope feared?
I think not. I think Elpe was consumed by.
Hope says yes.
All right.
Has been
Is
decided.
Elpe mighty?
Elpe. I mean, I'm a spleen. I think she's like the spleen. So, and spleens are beautiful, as everyone knows. So I'm checking that one off. I'm just calling that.
I feel like
believe
you
you
might
look up
need some
spleens in the
skin to
Wikipedia.
wear.
Wait, say again?
I said I feel like you might need some skin to wear after you get out. If only there was someone you knew walking around with a bunch of it.
Oh man, yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, I've taken a human form at this point, because spleens are quite plenipotent. So.
Had to try.
But, I mean, I don't know. I think Hope is also mighty and generous.
Yep.
Not everyone knows Elpe, God damn it. And I think, can we check them all off?
Yeah. President Eidolon means that you are carrying a shrine, perhaps, or they are there in person. Like if your ancestor is a river god, maybe you're carrying around an amphora of their water. It means that you have something that represents them.
Well,
If
I have,
it
like,
does,
You
it's
gotta be
worth a lot.
careful.
Can I have like original
Habits, too.
spleen juice? Like, basically, I'm thinking like, can I have like the fluids of her, holy ambrosial juices flowing through me?
Absolutely. The only catch is if you take that die,
There's a catch?
if you lose it, you lose all of them because she's not there to help.
I don't know. Is that worth it? Like, I don't know the game well enough.
Honestly, it's good for gameplay. It's something to lose is good for the game.
It really is. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm full of Hope's ichor.
You could lose hope's Icker.
Now, here's the other thing is that you cannot speak to Elpe directly. Somebody else has to. So that is the Oracle of Elpe. And they are charging you to go do something.
Okay. So wait, my Oracle of Elpe, I'm putting this here. And they're going to charge me to do something. I think
their name will be Gabuk. Gabuk.
Wait, I missed that. Say that again.
Your Oracle has to have a name because they might matter. So I just made up a name, Gabuk, Gabuk.
Gabuk. Okay, so the Oracle of Gabuk, but the Oracle of Gabuk is a person or a location or what?
A person. It is a person who tells you stuff because you don't speak the language of names.
Right.
So it could be another person who's playing the game with you as well.
Oh.
It could be. Yep.
I don't know. I think let's leave Gabuk here. This gives us somewhere to go, someone to find and stuff. Right. And so Gabuk demands that I blaspheme the name of Jay.
Great.
Right? You know, because I have fled, I am now a free organ, and I must blaspheme Ignac.
So, yeah, I mean, I would think that would mean that you have to go around shaming him, right?
Desecrating, right? I am a force of desecration.
Middle finger to the Lord, all everywhere you go.
By either boon or by your own hand, you've gained a trophy. And this is like the pelt of the Nemean lion or tusk of a mammoth granted to you by the great-granddaughter of the mammoth who wore it. Or it could be, I don't know, any of those, the weapon of your great-grandfather, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so what I'm thinking is on the way out of Ignac's body, I grabbed his appendix. And now it has become a squishy and really deadly club that I use.
So just to let you know, there is another entity in the wings, and his name is Pete.
Pete?
Pete, yes.
Okay. All right, I will keep Pete in mind, but I think I grabbed an appendix on the way out. So I am wielding the appendix like an unholy, really like slimy weapon.
All right,
I feel like the shock value alone would hurt somebody. Would you just hit me with an appendix?
Offer weapons from hell.
I didn't think he would miss it, and I needed something on the way out.
So pick any of those that are true. Is it old, generous, mighty, and/or known to all?
Okay, it is definitely old. I think it is mighty, and I don't think it's generous.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it's known to all. I think everybody's confused by it. So I think it's
Yeah, you have to gain a reputation for it first. All right, and then write down what it is and
appendix. Or I'll put the slimy appendix of big, yeah, and I'll put club here just to remember how I'm using it.
Okay, so let me see what is that? How many dice does he have of each kind now?
Right now, Carlos has 6 dice of gold. Yes, and 4 dice of jet total.
And where did the extra dice of jet come from?
The trophy also has dice of jet because they're mortal things.
Yes.
And so, Carlos, what's going to happen is that there will come times when you roll your dice, and even though you do really well, what it looks like is you are outshining your ancestor. You're outshining Elpe. And so for instance, right now you're rolling 4 dice of jet, your 2 mortal dice of jet, and then your 2 from your trophies.
Right.
I think it'll be clear. Check your dice of jet right now in the upper right.
Oh, yeah. So check and check.
Yep, right. So when you lose one of those, what you'll discover when you take action, most of the time when you're doing violent things, you have to make sure that you're not harmed, and then you can do other things that actually will help you do what you want to do, and you don't have that extra one. So you've got to roll really well or die. Are sort of your options there.
Okay. I will very well.
Actually, you can be harmed in lots of ways. You might lose your slimy appendix. If you have friends, you can lose your friends. It's just anything valuable to you, and one of those things is your life.
I can get more friends, but I can't get another appendix. So watch out, Liam.
Okay, so it looks like
I-
Carlos is done and Liam's done, so it's just waiting for Joshua. So you're gonna share.
Yeah,
your
let me share my
Hey, stop
screen
saying-
again.
Let me just say, I loved creating that fucking character. That was so much fun.
Right? It's like a real good creative exercise.
Here, this is me here. Share. There we go. Okay. So I am known as Shuyun. I flee the bone eater Gashu Dub, and he wanted me to be his herald.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. And let's see what name aids me here. I've got Dune on the brain like everybody else. So
Wadid.
let's
Worm
see.
tongue.
Um,
Worm spittle.
Raban?
oh, Bob. Totally not Shai Hulud. Shul Habab. Who swims beneath the desert. Oh. Who swims beneath? We're just keeping that. That's good. Who swims beneath?
Oh yeah, no, good call.
Shul Habab is old. I think Shul Habab is kind of terrifying. I don't know about beautiful. Is big, is known to all as long as you're in the desert, is mighty, is not inscribed. So somebody else tell me what this giant sandworm demands of me.
It demands visions of the upper world. And so basically, you must tithe works of art to it that depict what the upper world is like.
Yeah. Mortal art from above the firmament. Damn it. From the firmament. There, I'll have to fit there. So they promise to emerge and consume those I wish. There. All right.
And just
That seems like
a
a good guy to start with.
note to people who are watching and who are the gods. See how communal this is. There aren't going to be, even though we can only see like one character sheet at a time. You're using each other's information to help build the story and help each other make something awesome. So
Yeah,
you're not in competition with each other. We're playing.
We are playing each other's opposition, but the mandate is to have each character, including background characters and antagonists and stuff, have them do what they want, and the rules will make that hard and easy for us. The best strategic decision is always to do the thing that works best, because that's what will get the responses you want, is to be sincere.
And so, real quick, so Joshua, so you have 2 dice of jet and 1, 2, 3, 4 dice of gold, or is it 5? 4.
Yep.
4. Okay.
Looks like 4, yeah.
So that is all of character creation. Once everybody knows how to do that, that literally takes maybe 10 minutes if there's a lot of hemming and hawing. So now I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Okay. Feeling like I keep looking out of frame there.
Okay.
So now we're just going to ask each other. Liam, I'm going to start asking you, where are you? What are you doing? Who is there? And what do you look like? Perhaps in a different order. What do you look like?
What do I look like? So I will say that I am a thin, wiry man of what's the average life expectancy in this setting? It's Bronze Age, so it's
so
not
so
long,
Bronze Age,
I'm
you're starting to
assuming.
get fields, so it's not very long. When we were all hunter gatherers, we lived until 70 years old, maybe 80. Now that we've got fields, probably like 60 is old age.
Okay. So I'll say he's probably in his late 20s, early 30s, but he's weathered. Like he's definitely got weathered tan skin. He's been out in the sun many years of his life, and those are terrible rolls, Cam. You better do better for me.
Oh my god! Yeah, ring those rolls out, man.
Yeah.
I'm a little
not,
biased. I want to see some shit
no,
happen.
Not liking this. Not liking this. I'm a little scared. Yeah, you know what? That's better. Okay. I'm gonna work that in. He always seems a little twitchy. He's always kind of looking over his shoulder, like maybe there's somebody after him. Weird, right? But yeah, he's got long shaggy hair that kind of like spikes out in every direction. And he's typically wearing do they have robes in this time?
Yeah. Oh,
He's
yeah.
usually wearing some kind of robes. They're billowy. They tend to hide his frame and maybe other things too. He always seems to have something else in there that you weren't expecting, and maybe when you're around him, some stuff goes missing, and it's presumably he's a little clinkier when he walks away in his robes. So where he is just kind of start tying things together for everybody, at least to yours, and then we can maybe move to Carlos's. He's in the desert because he's heard that there is something out there that loves mortal works of art, and he's hoping to sneakily offload this silver skull that he picked up in a misadventure that's very beautiful, and he's hoping he can maybe offload it onto somebody who's looking to collect works of art. And he's trying to do it all subtle like, because if it catches on, it's going to probably tell him to do something he doesn't want to do, and he has to do whatever the skull tells him to do.
So
right.
That is a cue for you, ye gods, beyond a word.
Yeah.
To be pawned.
Yeah.
So that's where you are and what you're doing.
I look like,
what do you look like? What do you look like? And who else is there? You can invite Dan if you want to.
Yeah, I'll say you're there. I have found you wherever or if you wander around and maybe I ran into you, or if you have a particular shrine dedicated to your
No, I'm on the move. I'm running from the
you're on the
bone eater.
move. Okay, yeah. So I've kind of wandered out there because I heard a rumor of your character's existence, and as fate would have it, I've run into you.
Fantastic. Yeah. So I am. So ask me the questions. So where are you? What do you look like? Who's there? And what are you doing? Not necessarily in that order.
Okay.
So what do you look like?
So I am skinny in the way that people in the desert are. I am from among the desert men who live out here, and I look like it. So my skin is pretty dark and on the reddish side. I wear kohl under my eyes to block the sun. I am wearing what used to be pretty decent abaya, like a blanket, like a poncho kind of thing. It was embroidered with blue on the edges, and it is totally tattered at this point. My hair used to be braided really beautifully, and now it is matted. I clearly don't have enough water in my body, and I'm marching along. Oh shit! I'm marching along, still carrying a flag. This is how you found me over the dunes. I'm carrying a tall pole with a flag that is carrying the name of Shul Habab, which means it is inscribed. So I'm getting another die. You should Cam note that.
That's gold die.
Yep, a die of gold. Yep. Name dealers never get any more mortal dice of jet. We are frail little beings, and that makes us dead. Oh, look at that! They can land on top of each other and be really inconvenient. Oh man, it would make you. Can you re-roll the one under the 6? What happens?
A better
awful,
roll.
Awful, terrible. Okay, so yeah. I'm a woman. I'm not old. I'm gonna call it like 25.
37. I'm not old.
I'm I look like I've had children, I've been through that. I don't have any with me right now, so I'm not sure what's happened there, but it could be good, could be bad. Don't know yet. And what am I doing? I am trying to get to the City of Stone because the Bone Eater doesn't know how to find me there, and we'll have to, if he does get there, we'll have to travel across desert in which he can be consumed by my buddy. Who else is there? Oh, you're there. We're meeting on the way to the City of Stone. Yeah. So I'm going to see you, and I'm at first going to be a little suspicious. You're not coming from the same direction that the Bone Eater was in. I'm pretty sure that guy is back behind me. But when by the time you see me, I've already seen you because I'm a desert person. And it's because I'm standing on top of a dune to make sure that you see me.
Right, with the flag.
With the flag, yeah, yep.
Yeah.
And I hold up my hand and I say, "Who do you serve?"
Currently, I serve Lugtashul, the inscribed old and beautiful. He's known to all, so you should know him.
Oh, I do. It's sweet. All right. Lugtashul is the skull, or is the scroll?
No, Lugtashul is was a wise mystic. He was a name dealer, like me, who made a deal with Ulelish, the Lord under the hill, and got inscribed with his debt. And that's why he's inscribed.
That guy. Right. All right.
Yeah.
And he's with you, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's hiding.
Yeah. I see. Okay.
As far from the bloody roll of debts as he can get.
Yeah. So I know him, and I know him as a name dealer. So then I say, "Oh, do you wish to join me? I head for the City of Stone."
Perhaps. I seek the great. What was the name of your follow? The thing that you follow?
Oh, it is Shul Habab.
I was seeking the great Shul Habab because I've heard that they are a collector of beautiful things, and I wish to make an offering for aid of my own.
Huh.
And I see
you should have this conversation on higher ground. I am pursued. I can't think of a more delicate way to put it.
I know the feeling. Very well. Lead on. We'll get to where it is that you feel safest, and perhaps we can talk about how I can ingratiate myself to you. I have several trinkets and other things of wonder that I would be more than happy to part with in order to make a new friend.
Fabulous. Carlos, where are you?
So right now, or should I start with looks, or should I start there with where?
I want to know where you are, so answer that question first, and we'll just make sure that I don't forget any of the questions.
I am just leaving the city of Albufegu after a thorough desecration of Igna's shrine there. I basically convinced everybody, instead of like performing proper oblations and sacrifice, to like psych him out. So like they were gonna put food up and stuff, but then I threatened them all with my mighty appendix and made them all just like eat all the food that was there on the fly.
Their appetite.
And so, we basically just had a bacchanal right there on the shrine instead of honoring Igna, and then I called him spleenless and left.
Now, Joshua, a quick question here. So in his description, Carlos seemed like he had like threatened them. Now this is backstory.
Yeah, this is something that just happened. It's
not going to be something that we're going to roll for one of the particular actions.
Nope.
Okay.
Let me think about that. Is there a reason to? No, he can be walking out. That's fine. Although I will say, Carlos, there's no reason to not start yourself in trouble. It is up to you.
Let's just go clean for right now and pick it up from.
Yeah, so you're looking for a new place to go desecrate him.
Desecrate. Also, I need to find my oracle Gabuk, or I think that's what I call him. And so I need to know where I'm supposed to next desecrate.
So are you in the city? Or you're finding things out?
Just leaving right now, headed back into the desert en route to Gabuk.
Great, but you don't know where Gabuk is.
I know it by sense direction. I don't know it by like Gabuk moves around, but I know where Gabuk is always.
Oh, cool. All right, great. So what are you doing? Who else is with you?
No one's with me. They're all, really feeling bad about the fact that they just desecrated and I convinced them, and so like they're getting nervy. I'm by myself. It's just me and my appendix.
Alone with the gods.
And what do you look like?
Oh, I look sort of like someone tried to take a stomach and make it look like a person. I
You look Tor Johnson.
have, limbs, but they're kind of shifting and shaping, and fingers appear and disappear as I walk, and so like I have to concentrate really hard to get to like 90% of human-looking form. I have on a sort of like a twist over my pelvic area, but I still haven't quite figured out how to tie it right, and so it just reveals that I have no genitalia. I have no nipples as well. Nipples are very hard to concentrate on, so they never make it. I'm very smooth and almost angelic.
The idea of you suckling is blah.
Right. I have no body hair anywhere. I have no nails, no fingernails or toenails. If I concentrate, I can give myself 5 fingers, but usually I default to 3. So basically, kind of like, and I have a mighty ass appendix.
Great. Okay, so your sense direction says to head into the foothills, out of the desert, into the foothills. Follow the river upstream.
Just one more thing, just because this is so great from Jay. Every once in a while, the appendix hits me in the head. It just
splats.
It doesn't like me at all, but I'm wielding it anyway.
You walk into the foothills. So one of the rules of the game is seek and seize upon coincidence. So you're looking for a guy in a place, we're going to a place, they're going to happen to be the same place. They aren't necessarily, because that's not necessarily the coincidence, but right now they're going to be. So you realize after a bit that you're heading for the city of Stone, which is in the foothills on the way up into the mountains in the northwest of where you are. And so you can follow the river upstream. It just cuts through a stark crevasse in the desert. There's nothing growing on either side. You just know that, like, if you walk away from the river, it'll disappear. You won't be able to find it again. But if you get down into it, you will just be in the rushing river, and it'll wash you back downstream. So you're walking along at the edge. In one of your 1 to 3 nostrils, you can smell the water and life coming up out of it, and the other side is just the dry, salt air of the desert around you. And you see off in the distance, you see some people walking along. Oh, as you're getting up there, you see the occasional boat coming down the river, and there's a road that runs along this, and occasionally another road will come and join in from some other part across the desert, where people have come to the river and then know that once you get to the river, you turn from the city of Stone.
So Josh, just a note for people who are playing, Joshua is showing us how this will work, but remember, he's not DMing. He's one of the players who is playing. So this is a player feeding Carlos information for what he can see, what he can do, or when he takes his action.
So Carlos, what you're going to want to look out for is opportunities to take actions that you can take. So those 4 actions for a fated hero are that you can coerce people, which means you tell them to do something or you will harm them. You can test yourself, which is to say that you're doing something that other people think impossible for a mortal. You can follow your passion for another, which means that you are throwing yourself heedlessly in the sack with somebody, even though it's a bad idea, a good idea, you don't care. Your dad who's a thundercloud, anything where there's no reason to do this but that you are following your mighty passions. And you can lead your followers. The way that you get followers is by testing yourself in front of other people, and that wows them and they join in because you're amazing. So leading your followers lets you do all sorts of cool stuff, and is most importantly a way to get destiny because your followers think that you're rad. They're also an additional followers are a trophy, so they can be any number of old, generous, mighty, and known to all. So it's a good idea, like if you're like steal somebody's myrmidons, then they're mighty and known to all. That's 2 additional dice of jet for you. So what's happening right now is you can see that that's us, obviously, out there on the desert, walking in a similar direction to you, or at least joining up with your road. And you want to look for those opportunities. And it's Liam and my job to find opportunities to present you with opportunities for treasure. So with trophies, opportunities for trophies. So right now you're in the desert. I can't think of anything really good that's here, so I'm cutting directly to you see the 2 of us going probably in the direction that you're going. And it is safer and at least more fun to travel with other people in the desert.
Right, and definitely safer right now. And as a spleen, I require a lot of water, so I am going to, approach the both of you and say, "Good travelers, might you have water to share with a fellow man?" Totally a man.
So I give you a total stink eye because
You are a spleen, sir.
you
I'm really concentrated. I'm like 80.
How is it you walk?
So I say, it is my honor, and I hand you this completely flaccid, drained water skin. That clearly, this is a big deal for me to be giving you this little bit of water. We haven't gotten to the river yet, apparently.
Okay. So I am going to take this water, and I'm just going to measure it in my spleeny imagined hands that I've formed.
Oh, hey, wait a minute! What am I talking about? I just made an offer. Cam, roll my dice.
Give them what they desire.
So this is now going to Joshua.
Or offer them what they desire.
And that one didn't count. It was changing the dice. Here we go.
All right. So all right. 3 strikes. So we. All right. So here's 6.
Yeah, explain this to me.
Yep. So, and any additional ones would become destiny. As usual, I didn't get any more destiny. So let's see. I gave you an offer, so I can make you agree to do as I ask in exchange.
So Joshua, can you explain what?
Talk me through the mechanics
Yeah,
here.
the dice.
So I made an offer. So offer them what they desire. You said that you wanted water. I offered you water. So.
You cut out there, Joshua.
Cut out a little bit. Yep.
All right. Liam and I gain abilities by making offers to people for things that they want. You want water, so I offered you water. I didn't. It's not necessarily that I gave it to you, even. It's that I made you the offer, is the triggering action here. So I rolled and I got. Actually, I got 2 hits plus 1 destiny.
How do you know that?
Their 5s and 6s are all strikes for me.
And a strike is a good thing.
A strike is a good thing, yes.
Okay.
As in striking a blow. So I get 2, and then I get 1 destiny because I can't ever get more than 2.
So what destiny comes from the dice, the 4?
Destiny for us, destiny comes from additional 5s and 6s in excess of 2.
So it's 2 to succeed. Any extra is something called destiny, and you're going to tell me in a second what destiny does.
Yeah. It's actually 1 to succeed, 2 to get to pick 2 off the list. So if you look at the back of Fated Hero,
Go ahead and share your
oh
screen.
yeah, right. I can show everybody.
Or even just on the character
Hero
sheets
mine.
that we have. Yeah.
Oops, wait. Let me share my screen. Yes.
Too many tabs on Joshua's laptop.
It really is. Holy moly! Holy
many
crap!
tabs.
How many do I have here? And why is it not giving this in the list? Why it got to be like that? Some people say it don't be like it is, but it do. What the heck?
Like
oh, there's it there. I just can't see it. It's invisible to me. There we are. Okay. So here are the options that I have to draw from. I made you an offer, so I offered you something that you did want. If I'd made you an offer of whatever, something you didn't want, if I said I will happily salt your skin, you'd be like, I don't want that. I assume that's not what.
Joke's on you. I'm into that shit.
So if I got 1 hit, then I get 1 of them. If I get 2 hits, then I get 2 of them. If I have 3 hits, then I get 2 of them, and I take a destiny. I can't ever get all 3. So I am going to choose that you agree to do as I ask in exchange, and the agreement endures. Now, you'll notice that I did not take, they make no further demand before accepting this agreement. So whatever I'm about to say is, I would only do that under these circumstances, and then if I agree to that, then I get dice for you if I don't agree to that. So you can put something that I'm not going to promise to do, but I can lie too. It's just a promise. It's not what I've never done it immediately.
I can guarantee you anything.
So I say when I offer you the
Sorry, Josh. Before you continue your story, can you show what you did with your destiny? Because you said that you got 2 hits and you got 1 additional destiny.
Yeah, what's the destiny?
Yep. So destiny is the best thing. The destiny, here we are. I just checked it off here. This is just a quantity. It's useful for a couple of things. The biggest thing that it's most useful for is they're the only dice you have when you're dead, and you can just use them up to do the final things as you die. And you can use, and one of the things as a name dealer that you can do is you can haunt people. You can make your descendants make promises. You can you use them to take action one final time. So you can coerce people into doing what you want as you die. And they needn't be there because you're dead. So you're just it's this one last swipe on the way to the waters of the underworld. You can also use them if I'm planning for something. They're the only way that the planning things can have an effect. So this is, as I said, this is not a naturalistic world. This is all fates. So if I am planning, I get dice if I have the destiny. If I make the same plan and I don't have the destiny, the plan will not work. I mean, at least I don't get the dice. I don't know if it'll work. It's just not any more likely that it'll work.
So the destiny ends up. Oh, the destiny ends up being extra dice.
Yes, and it winds up being extra dice. Yep. And the one last thing that you can do is, if something was really important and you're like, you roll your 13 dice or whatever, and you don't get any hits, or you needed 2, or you needed 3 even, you can then roll all of your destiny at once, burn them all at once, and take all of those hits up to up to as many as you want. So I could, in principle, get 3 if I did that. Or you could get 4. Fated heroes can get up to 4 things that they want at a time.
Okay.
I'm sorry, can get up to 3 things that they want out of a list of 4.
So, quick question. Did you get more strikes on your dice of gold than you did on your dice of jet?
I did. Why do you ask?
Oh, is it because additionally, if you've rolled more strikes on dice of gold, then the gods or any of the fated people around you get to make a demand of you?
It's actually not the fated people around me. It's Shul Habab can make a demand.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh dear.
Yep.
So now we need the chat, right?
Now we need the chat to see if they want to add something in.
So it doesn't necessarily make that. So the question is, am I doing what Shul Habab wants? And I just put off an offer. It wants to consume this mortal art, right? And I just put that offer off because I want to get out of the desert before we start talking business. But now I have an offer, and I'm putting it off. So it might want to make a demand of me, and it can make a demand of me if I refuse it it can harm me. And the way that it can harm me is by either taking away one of my mortal dice of jet, which will make me half dead. It will put me in a can take away something that I care about. That can be just like hitting Liam. Like it's I mean, we're not friends. It's not going to hurt me that bad. But if it can also, in this case, it's Shul Habab. So Shul Habab can be like, you faceless little jerk, and just walk, right? But so let's see what happens. If Shul Habab wants to make a demand, then make it a demand that they want to make good on.
Yeah. So what do you want Joshua's character to do?
Yep.
Ye gods. And so now this is where
On top of Carlos getting to make a demand back for the water.
Yep. Indeed. Yep.
See what you come up with. Now, this is something that this is for the chat to do, but also if you're just playing, then this would be for Carlos, I guess, and for Liam.
It would be Liam because Liam is the least interested in this particular outcome.
I'm the uninvolved party.
Yeah, you're the least involved party. You obviously have some interest here, but you're the least interested party. Yeah, and if Liam keeps having a pretty good idea of what Shul Habab is like, then we probably go back to Liam every time we want to know what Shul Habab is up to right now.
So maybe Liam
for now,
jump in.
As I say, if the chat doesn't have any ideas, I can absolutely come up with one.
Yeah. So Gods, if you have any ideas or thoughts on what you want force Joshua to do, then by all means, you can say here. No pressure. I mean, I'm going to add something here as well. I'm going to pretend to be a god. Let's see. I want him to coerce this person into following my religion. Aha.
Great. Yeah.
Was this person meaning me?
Carlo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants to make Zoom into a follower.
Although I think Cam said this person because I don't think anyone's given each other their names yet.
Yeah. Yep.
Funny that.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I mean, I would have handed this over and started with my name, which I've forgotten.
Or you don't have to tell them your real name. You can tell them a name that you want people to, a safe name. Don't tell them your real name, right?
Yeah, I don't have any reason to trust or distrust this person yet. So I am going to go back to the well of names and tell you my name is on page 30. Where are you? Here we are.
From Hope. So basically what happened is Joshua and are making a deal. Joshua gave him water, Joshua offered him water. Carlos took it, and as a name dealer, one of his abilities is to make deals and force those deals upon the people in which he's having conversations with. And in doing so, he rolled to do that. He had to roll the dice, and when he rolled, he got more dice of gold than dice of jet and successes. So when that happens, that's an opportunity for the gods to make a demand.
Exactly. Quite so. So I held this out to you and said, my name is Shulek. I'm still giving you a stink eye because I gotta offer this to you.
And I just kind of look over like, Shulek, okay.
Yeah.
By the way, I changed my name on the Zoom so that people could try to remember it a little bit.
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Let me. How do you do
that? We
that?
know what the dice are. You can put your character sheet up. So to Hope's question, no, Joshua won, but because he won with more dice of gold, think of the dice of gold as the dice of the beings who are helping him, right? So since there were more strikes, more 6s and 5s on the dice of gold than there were on the dice of jet, this is an opportunity for you to mess with him and for you to get him to do something for you. So, for example, up here, I said you must coerce him to make him a follower. Well, hold on, what did she say? She'll have to carry ABZ's water for a passage. of the movie.
Gotta
Yeah.
carry his water. All right.
Yeah.
Very Doom.
Oh,
Very Doom.
yeah.
Well, this is going to be really bad for you in a second. I'm going to really love this.
So that is, yeah, great. Okay. So, but my offer to you is, guard my body,
Oh,
protect me from those who would harm me.
Shulek, I protect all except the evil god who had me imprisoned within his bowels for many a year, and so many years that I didn't even know what years were until I burst forth from his body and took his appendix, which I wield now with power and mercilessness. I shall protect you for just this very parsimonious sip of water that you have offered me.
I hear you saying I protect all lives, but the question I'm asking about right now is my life.
So,
Against
I mean,
the others.
wouldn't you be included in the all? Isn't
You said your body, friend.
want to hear
You said
say it.
your
Okay.
body. He is to protect your body.
And I say, because I can hear Shul Habab telling me this, I say, I will carry your water then. And
you will carry my water?
I will carry your water then.
So I'm gonna like jiggle a little bit, and you're gonna hear a lot of sloshing, and I'm gonna be like, basically, I'm like all water. So great, and I'm just gonna kind of like,
portable water.
I don't think the portable was in there, so I'm gonna just like climb on Shulek's back.
I will remind you, I'm not
And
big.
I'm just watching this like this is definitely a thing that's
This is
happening.
perfect. The desert's really tiring. My name's Bob, by the way. That's what the name is. So.
I can just see Ab Zoom Zoom just squeezing himself out all over Shulek.
By the way, Carlos, if you don't use your name, you don't get destiny for doing stuff. And you
Oh no, okay, yeah. So then I didn't know that. So yeah, I'll say I am Zum 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 Zum. You can never say enough Zums. Thank you for carrying me.
Well, that is certainly one way for you to stand between him and everyone who would call
That's
him. That is one way to do it.
You are probably literally 3 times my size, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm
Oh yeah,
really,
it's just like it's like Big Hero 6. He's just surrounding you.
I'm a bladder basically. That's
Oh
what
yeah.
I don't
So he's like your armor.
yeah.
I have seen armor of beads, I have seen armor of wood, and now I have seen armor of flesh. And I am
I'm very durable, tripey material. I will protect you.
Oh, fantastic! I love it. I love it. Okay.
Oh,
we are
let's-
traveling to the Stone City. Would you be okay with coming with us then? Zoom zoom zoom, I'm assuming.
I'm guarding him. Yes.
Well done, Hope. Wait, so hold on. So Joshua, so
Yep.
Carlos just got some destiny, correct?
Nope,
No,
I
he
did.
did not.
Not
Okay,
yet.
you did.
He
Okay.
hasn't rolled any dice.
Yeah, so Carlos has got to roll dice to get destiny by doing any of those things. I'm lucky that I got one. Carlos is going to pile destiny on, and it's going to start looking really good to die. And that's going to be your choice about whether you do that. It also means that once you've got a ton of destiny, you can re-roll your dice when they're crappy, or you can roll your destiny instead of dice to add to them. So Liam, Bishu Unram, what's your plan? What are you up to right now? What are you doing?
Well, at
What's
this
going on?
point, like I'm just kind of watching this flesh guy. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I'm like, okay, that's a thing. I can roll with this. And I'm just thinking, this guy obviously accepts offers pretty easily. So now I gotta judge whether or not I want to try to get him to accept that skull, maybe, or if I want to try and wait and bide my time the last time I did something hastily, I ended up with this skull. So I'm thinking I might bide my time, but that's kind of boring too. So I'm gonna, make small talk with Shulek. Do I know you as Shulek then?
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah. So I'll like try to kind of like poke, like move some of Ab out of the way to like maybe try to make eye contact or whatever while we're having a conversation, and be like, "So,
Start bothering you.
Shulek, I have been, as I said, I have been seeking uh, to make offerings to make allies. What kinds of things does your master like?"
Oh, hey, actually, two things just happened right now. One is, I forgot to do this while we were talking about it. I have now Ob Zoom 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 on my sheet,
Oh yeah, as a name.
who
Yeah.
is not old, not beautiful, is big.
Show your
Are you
screen.
known to all at this point?
Show your screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Did he? Is it going to come up this time? Yes, there it is. Okay, so I have you here on my screen, on my sheet. You are big. Are you known to all? Does everybody know your name?
This is to me, right?
Yep.
I don't. I think I'm a new spleen. Also, is my volume a little bit better now?
You're still quite loud.
Okay, darn it. I keep trying to adjust this like the second time, but maybe I'll just back up a little bit. Also, I'm a loud person. Maybe that's the problem. But yeah, how's this? Like if I'm back here?
It's a little better. Yeah.
Man, all right. Anyway, yeah, I'm a pretty new spleen. I'm a recent escapee.
You demand that I carry his water, and they promise to protect my body, which is probably more specific than I should have been. But we'll see if there's a loophole in there somewhere that I regret later. So what that means is that I will get 2 more dice of gold. Okay. Yeah. So Bishul Unram, tell me. I will introduce you to Shulhabab, who collects such things, who collects art of the mortal world. But I am leery as I am being pursued. So again, I'm making an offer. So would you be so kind as to roll my dice?
Okay. You're making an offer, you said?
I am making an offer. And that means...
Okay, here. We'll make sure this is right person. Yep, this is Joshua. Let's go.
A lot of dice. It's a lot of strikes.
Oh dear.
That was only 3. So all right, so I get another destiny.
All gold.
And I want an enduring agreement with you too, and you're going to do as I ask in exchange, which is to tell me all the names as you learn them.
Very well.
Your deal.
As I learn them.
Now you can make a further demand, and you can do something that you don't want me to do. You can make an outlandish demand, and we'll see what happens if you want to. And then if that happens, then the deal's off. I mean, if I don't accept it, then the deal's off.
Okay, so I can make an outlandish, because I can make a further demand before accepting.
You can make a further demand. Yep.
All right. Let me see.
Like, what do you see that he has that you want, I guess?
Well, he's got a
You can have my
giant...
Oh, everybody froze.
Return.
Sorry, Liam, say that again, because he froze there.
Oh, sure. In return, you will ensure that Ulelish, the Lord under the hill, never finds me.
Whoa.
Tell me more about this Lord under the hill before I make this promise.
That's a big one.
He is an avaricious glutton who possesses great wealth, any of the wealth that can be found under the hill. Any of the precious gems, any of the secret knowledge that could be found in the dark places where man fears to go or is unable to get to. He claims it as his own and offers it to those who would be foolish enough to take it.
Jesus.
That's let me introduce you to the Bone Eater Goshru Dob. Seems like they might get along really well. But fortunately, I do have a friend who swims beneath, so maybe I can help you with this. Bishul Unram, are you old? Did you say that you were old?
Just a note. So
Middle-aged, would that count?
No.
Middle-aged count?
One of the
No.
gods said Bishalom Ram could take your burden, and then you will be difficult to find.
Is Zoom 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 the burden?
Yeah, I don't think you agree.
Oh, that was a joke. Oh, okay.
Bishul Unram, you're not beautiful, right?
I haven't introduced myself yet, actually.
Oh. Oh, well, we're
you
doing a deal.
may
We
call
should.
me Manapa.
Pot.
Yes, you may refer to me as Manapa.
Change your name so it's easier.
Yep, I'm doing it.
Yep. Good. You are not big. You are not known to all. Do we think that? Yeah, you are mighty. I'd call you mighty. Anybody else agree with that?
Thank you. I like to consider myself mighty.
And
I always speak the truth.
And are you mighty or inscribed? I'm sorry. Are you
inscribed.
You are. Okay, great.
Yeah, I am inscribed.
And you demand. Wait, I forgot what our demand was.
Uleish, the Lord under the hill, does not find me.
Right. Ulalish, like that?
Oh, yeah.
I
can't see it, but it's Ulelish.
Great. Okay.
This is going to go badly for somebody.
Yep. And I am delighted to hear this. And you promised to teach me all names you know. This is a good deal. All right. It's a really good deal. As long as Ulalish, Lord Under the Hill, doesn't find you, or Shul Habab, who swims beneath.
I will teach you names as I learn them, as you asked.
As you learn them. Damn it. Gotta write better
Not giving you the ones I've already got. So
great.
Yeah, so I would say that since Carlos has not been part of the conversation,
yep,
then he would be the one to kind of move the story along and be asking the questions then.
Yep, I think that's a good idea. Yep.
So what do you say happens next, Carlos?
Yeah.
So I think what's happening is that the desert is starting to get tired of us, and we're seeing that storm is starting to brew. Basically the Siroccos that were, charming now are starting to build in ways that are becoming frightening.
Yeah, we should make it to the city of Stone.
I'm going to try to escape that storm.
Yeah.
Are they, Carlos? Are they close up to see the city, or where are they?
Oh yeah. There's a shining glimmer. We're having the oasis effect of watery sort of like horizons, but we can see the gleam of the city of Stone ahead of us. It's a city of mica, so it gleams beautifully in the desert.
Cool. So here's how you do something dangerous, Carlos, in this game. You just make it fucking happen. We get stuck in a desert storm and then we die and our bodies are never found in the sand. And then one of us says, I don't think I want that to happen. So don't threaten unless you just want it to be beautiful. You can just say it.
Oh, okay. No, I mostly wanted to move the plot along. Basically, like there's a storm brewing right now that we're going to have to go through, but it's not a deadly storm.
Well, you have a couple of tools to do that, and that is the Bone Eater Goshru Dub and Ulalish Under the Hill. So either of those can come up at us from behind. That's what they're there for. And I know that I'm actually on the run, like actively on the run. So that's what they're for. The Bone Eater might have a guy who can make him storms too.
Yeah, I feel though that this is more like an Alaylish thing. I think like, Mana, or whatever your name is,
Phenomena.
Mana, I think Alaylish is kind of pissed at this deal right now, and so this sandstorm is more like the god under the hill getting a little closer to less under the hill and more towards the surface and starts chucking sand at us.
Oh, great.
Sweet.
So let's enter the city. As we approach, what does it look like?
The city is basically domed white buildings and tents. So it's a basically like a Bedouin city that has become more and more used over times because there is a water source here, and so basically white buildings form a circle around this oasis that is here in the desert. There's a little green, there are a few animals to be seen of the Bactrian and dromedary variety, and we can hear the sounds of bustle and city there, but it's not a huge town. The city of Stone is mostly actually underground, and so basically we have this oasis in the middle, and then branching away from it more and more, the city sort of like
Cool.
inward and becomes sort of like this cool city underground that we can't see right now, but we know it by reputation.
Awesome.
Maybe we've been here before.
Perfect.
Is it guarded in any way?
The city is not guarded. In fact, it is sort of like meant to be welcoming to travelers. And the reason why is because there is a local hero there who guards against any trespasser, and is so well respected and well renowned that people have learned to respect her mighty hand.
Fabulous. I got to go to the bathroom. Why don't we take a break for? Can we take a break for a few minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fabulous.
Yeah. So, 5-minute bathroom break for everybody.
Fabulous.
Gods do as gods do. I'm not sure if you use the bathroom.
Yeah, will you stop the recording and then start it just to make sure you have what you have?
Mm-hmm.
Might be a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. Back in a minute.
Exactly. 9-10. Oh, I love 9-10.
Yeah. So let's see. Hopefully, Hull said it would be sad for the city. The Shalak brought the bone. Eater the city made a bone. No music. Now music. Oh, so good. She was able to see it. Yeah. So it's always tricky for me trying to figure out the audio for Zoom. But the webinar is being recorded. Yes. Continue. So I just want to say one more thing. Most of you who are watching or the gods, I think you come in and you are subscribing at the $4 level. Thank you very much. We love every penny. I would just like to say that if you subscribe at the $6 level, you get a lot of additional content, including all the digital art that's going to that comes with season 1, comes with season 2 and season 3. And my personal favorite of all the different awards that we have, we call the Exquisite Corpse, where we have authors who are in season 2, or rather season 3, and just authors who are friends who come together and they write one single story, one single massive, amazing story. And I'm just gonna read off to you guys like who is in season 3's episode. I just gotta get to one of the many tabs that I have open. I'm pulling a Joshua right now.
Sensing a theme. We got just tabs left and right.
It's
Totally accurate battle simulator.
So season 3 Exquisite Corpse story. Move it over so I can see the whole thing. Yeah, I'll just read it off for you. It is a story by, come on, mouse. There you go. So this is the authors and producers write a story that plays Russian genres, space opera, Doctor Who, and pirates. And it's all there for season 3. It's written by Rob Cameron, myself, Sam Schreiber, Zigzag Claiborne, Ted Rabinowitz, Joel Ledzinski, Mimi Mondell, Nikki Smith, Sandra Fink, Max Gladstone, Chris Dykman, Marcy Arlen, Joshua A.C. Newman, Brad Brooks, E.C. Myers, Sarah Pinsker, Burke Rustad, C.S.E. Cooney, and Carlos Hernandez. It's just gonna be. It's already nuts.
Nerd.
I know Carlos. I don't know if you've been paying attention to where it's been going, but it started off as straight space opera, then it's gone to romance, and then it's gone straight up pirates, and then Marcus Marcus turned it into choose your own adventure. So you're gonna have a lot to play with.
I just finished my chapter yesterday, by the way.
Awesome. You're right on time.
Cool.
And so Carlos and Claire, they are doing the finale piece, and and it's gonna be nuts, very very nuts. So if you would like to, after we finish this game, or anytime you want, quite frankly, you can increase your subscription by just $2, and you get all of that amazing stuff. Also, any music that we produce for season 2 and season 3, you're also going to get that as an MP3, as a playable MP3. So it is worth the upgrade for that. Okay, so I am going to change my audio back to Realtek USB. I'm not sharing anymore, and we're back to the game. The last we were here, our heroes, Shulin,
Players?
Manapa, and Ab, zoom, 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 kappa, kappa. And the three of them have made it to the city just ahead of what looks like might be a sandstorm pushed upon them by what's his name?
No, it was my guy.
Yeah.
The guy
Under the hill.
Who seems ridiculously powerful and just a bad day waiting to happen. Okay, so Joshua, Joshua, I'm not sure. I know it was Carlos who was describing, but since Carlos is going to kind of out of play, I guess the person describing kind of roll on to the next person to give them more time to interact.
Oh yeah, sure.
I have an idea if we want to roll in.
Roll.
So I would say maybe the gods can give us some inspiration for what the hero in the city is named, or maybe some of the attributes of what they're like. But one thing that I think would be cool is if the hero of the city is facing a dilemma, because the underground portion of the stone city is being threatened by some kind of beast who is beholden to another god, possibly some kind of weird, gross guy named Igya or something like that. And they're just terrorizing the lower part of the city. And so now the hero is being faced with a choice of protecting the upper part of the city from this oncoming storm, or go down and defeat the beast in the depths below that's beholden to Igya. And perhaps that would be an excellent opportunity for Zoom 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 to blaspheme directly against this guy.
I like it.
But we're not going to do it for free, of course.
Well,
So
I'm not very smart.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on here, like today. Like, what are people doing? And sort of, is this an everyday thing, or is like everybody freaked out because of the beast, or is the beast like a chronic problem they deal with when it comes up?
The people of the city are generally chill. They're used to their hero handling their problems for them. They're used to them being able to deal with anything that gets thrown at them, and they're confident that they're going to be able to handle this one too, until the storm starts rolling in. And so the storm begins to roll in. They see this storm, and Ramtulut seems to be having some second thoughts and some doubt. Doubt is not a countenance that they're used to seeing on their hero's face. And so as he begins to lose, or is it a he? Is it a she?
She. I identified as she in the first introduction.
So it's a she.
Yeah.
Okay. So as she is then, beginning to have doubts, they're beginning to have doubts. And much like the people of the Candy Kingdom from Adventure Time, they are freaking out. And they begin to wail and gnash their teeth and go into their homes and beat their chests and, oh, woe is upon us, and how did this happen? Who brought this here to our doorstep? Whoever it is, they need to own up to it. And so Manapa is just kind of like getting behind Zoom Zoom Zoom, and using his large girth to kind of like hide himself.
You're pointing at yourself, dude. You're wearing me.
Well, no, Shulik's wearing you. I'm behind.
Oh, okay, right.
I'm just behind, trying to stay out of sight. So the people are starting to get agitated, and they're very worried. And then Ram Tulut walks up to these newcomers, who seem to be literal stormbringers, and approaches them and says, "Who are you, and what have you brought to the doorstep of our fair city?"
I just immediately glom off. If one can glom off, I basically pour myself off of Shulek and say, "Hello, whoever you are." I guess this is the question: like, do we know the reputation of the city, and do we know?
We know his name is Ram. Her name is Ramtula.
Right. So, but does her reputation precede her? Like we can refer to her.
We knew about the city beforehand, so it has a reputation.
Mighty Ramtilak, it is a pleasure to meet you in the flesh. My name is Ab Zum Zum Zum. Perhaps you've heard of me. And I just kind of whack my weapon in my hand, and my appendix slimes against my hand, and it hits me in the head once too.
She has not heard of you because you are not.
Oh, that's right.
You are not known to all.
Right, I kind of know this, but I want to be known. So it's like, well, then it is my chance to make my reputation. We come to your city today because I am here to tell you of a god who should be blasphemed of all cities and all places. Ignat is the cause of all woe, and his defeat and ignominy will lead us to a brighter future.
And her eyes light up when you say that, and she's like,
"A scapegoat."
"Oh, perfect! We are beset by a beast from below and the storm from above. I shall wrestle with this storm above while you handle the beast below. For the beast is a spawn of that which you wish to blaspheme against. They were vomited up one day out of their stomach. Perhaps they were a tapeworm of some kind or something, and they now ravage our underground. They have a special desire to eat those who blaspheme the name of Igyab, but I am sure a hero of your caliber will be able to put it in its place. They have settled in the oasis, and they float on our surface and suffocate our livestock. We haven't had a good, decent hamburger in we haven't had a side of mutton in ages because this thing continuously eats our cattle."
Right. So how do you know that it especially wants to take revenge on those who blaspheme? Like, does it say it's like, and this is for Ignat and those who blaspheme? Like, how do you know that?
It's just a vibe I get.
Yeah, okay, we're vibing.
We had visions. We have also had visions upon its arrival, and I, in my sleep, I was visited by a messenger who said, "Thou shalt not blaspheme against Igyab, and those who would shall face the wrath of our beast."
Yeah, stupid dreams. Fuck that guy. All right.
He oddly enough seemed to have holes in his being, as if some part of him was missing, which was strange.
Oh, yeah. I recognize that guy. All right, so whether this is a tapeworm or the actual stomach, we shall defeat it.
Perfect. I go do.
So then I glom back up to Shulek and be like, "I will protect you, but we must go into this battle."
Would you care to make a wager of it, that I can defeat your storm before you can defeat my worm?
No, that just seems counterproductive. We can.
Don't wish to test yourself?
You don't have to take it, but it is a chance to roll your dice.
Yeah, no, I think I'll just go beat up the worm and we'll all just be happy. Like, I mean,
I suppose there is some glory in that, but I would prefer the path of more glory. You are a strange hero indeed.
I just sort of like smack my appendix against my hand, like, yep.
It's like
Strange
he wants
indeed.
just enough glory. Just enough.
Viable glory.
A full cup? No, just 3/4.
They brandish their obsidian tipped club, and they run off to do battle with the storm.
Which shine on you, crazy diamond. You're gonna go fight a storm. All right.
She's gonna go beat the storm down with her club.
I like it. So I say, I kind of like shake around on Shulek. It's like, all right, lead the way. We're going downstairs.
Townspeople very much leave a path for you. Like, they don't want to get sloshed on, and it's kind of odd to see you, but also you're going to go defeat their monster problems, so they're also kind of like trying to peek around corners and look at you and see the spectacle and all that stuff. But
It's on
yeah,
point.
they're a lot more calm now than they were before.
Everyone read the chat. Hope is number one. That is so awesome. I don't know if the viewers will be able to see this in recording, so I'll just read it out loud. The worm will find abs zoom 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 repeating, especially delicious because it targets the livestock for their ample ruminant stomachs. And basically, I am organ meat, baby, sweet sweet organ meat.
Oh man. You're what's in the hot dog, man.
Yeah.
Run amok.
There's even a rumor. There's even a rumor that it leaves the skins and it only sucks out the organs
Oh,
inside
man.
of the livestock. It's
I love
exclusively like organs.
I'm literally how the sausage is made.
Nobody look.
The one that got away.
I'm gonna say this is your field of expertise. By all means, lead the way.
Oh, that was to me?
Yeah.
Okay, well, so I'm going to lead the way by basically mannequing your body down into the underground portion of the City of Stone.
Yep.
So somebody describe what we see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, Joshua, if you want to, or Liam want to go ahead and describe what.
I think it's got to be Liam because apparently I'm first.
All right, no, that's cool. So the underground is reached by it starts off as like a kind of a ramp, and then it circles around, and then it turns into like this spiral city into the actual underground itself, and it's just kind of covered with gems and other precious things that the people they don't value it as much because what are you going to do, eat a rock? Like, it doesn't really make much sense. So they do have various forms of illumination set up, the occasional torch, the occasional phosphorescent lichen and that kind of thing, and it all kind of reflects off of the gemstones. So the underground is almost like the hidden gem of the city, you might say. The above ground city is beautiful, but where the real splendor is as you get below. So the houses are kind of now built into the walls themselves, and like the entire thing is just like a giant, like I said, spiral ramp that just gets wider and wider and wider, and eventually it's a road.
Do you see any art? Like, do you see anything that accentuates the space you're in?
Fresco.
Yeah. So they occasionally will rearrange the stones. The one thing that they will do is they will remove the stones from the walls and then rearrange them into various depictions of some of their myths and legends. Quite a few of them are of Ram Tulut defeating various things. The crocodile of Bor Anan and the winged serpent of Dabeg Fur. And a lot of them are like that. Before Ram Tulut, apparently this is a long-standing tradition, and it's a familial kind of thing. Their ancestor also defended the town, and there's also, as you go deeper, you see, the history of the city, and basically each hero and how they defeated all the things in as much splendor and relief as they possibly could. And you get the impression that this is very much Eidolons. Like, these are all Eidolons. There's not a...
So who's one who has defeated such a thing? Is there a story that's like this? Is it like this worm or the storm?
Yes. So this is kind of almost like a cycle, it seems like. So the very first one was the City of Stone citizens used to be nomadic, and they were led by Gabhishig, who knew the names of all of the things that they came across. Ooh. And they were running from something, and that thing's name is struck from the annals. And what the legend shows is that in this spot, they finally said no more. and they coerced the help of the first hero, who was named Ad Bardu, who was a mighty princess warrior who wrestled with the thing that shall not be named for many days and many nights until they finally wrestled them to the ground. And their wrestling match was so titanic that they cracked the earth and they shoved them down and down and down into the depths and to the bottom. And that is where Stone City was founded, and that is the spiral that leads down, is the path that they took to defeat the one who will not be named.
Wow, all the way down to the bottom.
All the way down to the bottom. And at
Bottom
the
of the earth. I love it.
At
So
the
the-
bottom is a series of catacombs where they lay their honored dead, in honor of her as well. They go to rest with her and continue to honor her with their presence and
I
kind
see.
of
So the catacombs, or the mausoleum, I guess, is at the bottom of the catacombs.
correct.
All right,
And
let's go get
this
some help.
is where Igyeb is stomping around, ruining everything,
Oh,
and eating anyone who would go down and pay respects, wrecking up the honored dead, and they
rude.
have even
Yeah,
potentially
whatever, Jay.
wrecked up some of the murals.
Oh, it's a good
right.
thing somebody brought a weapon.
Yeah, I have yet to have anything that I can actually do anything to anybody with. Yeah, but like this is actually started getting offensive to me. Shul Habab holds art for all time because mortals destroy it, and this is just petty bullshit, and I hate this kind of thing. So yeah, no, I'm picking up my step as I'm reading these in the walls. I'm starting to figure it out. I'm picking up my step like all right, let's go get this guy.
Imanapa is very, very nervous because he's underground. And this is where Ulelish hangs out.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, let's just say, well, all right. So
He's
so,
almost
yeah, we're gonna
feeling
keep-
like he got driven here by a storm so that he would
Yeah.
go somewhere where the
Yeah. So what? As we get deeper, we're going to start hearing what's the name? Igyuk? Is that what his name is?
There's a horrific scraping, squirming sound
Yeah.
echoing up from below us.
Yes.
And fleeing city folk run past us saying, he's got our boys.
Oh, all right.
So, obviously, I'm going to be very heroic and say, down we go! Faster! Faster, Shulak! And I'm going to move your legs really fast.
This is not part of our agreement. we can discuss this later, but this was not part of our agreement.
Yeah, I've got you, my man. I'm hugging you and loving you as if we're running down. I got you.
I realize it might be vague to you because you're an organ, but I'm a woman.
I'm sorry. I'm really going to need your enthusiastic consent so I can keep doing it.
Yeah, how about skeptical consent? That's what you're getting right now.
Is it enthusiastic skeptical consent? Because I really need that word in there somewhere.
Yeah, I think we're in concurrence, as we say. We're doing the same thing for different reasons.
Right. For the blasphemy, then, and I just keep charging us down.
So yeah, what changes when we get to 2 or toward the bottom?
So we reach basically like a leveled area that is basically one of the mausoleum levels. It's not the deepest part yet. But there was no time to reach it, for before us stands this avatar of Ignat that is a horror to behold. And so if you can imagine basically this creature that has become sort of like a millipede-like monstrosity with the texture of tripe. And so it is holed all the way through, and it has mandibles and maws and uncountable numbers of legs writhing through it, and all up and down this legs as it rises before us are the young people who were trying to defend, the warriors of the city of stone who were trying to defend it, but basically they're just being slowly absorbed into this stomach millipede.
So
And he sounds like this. He's like, "Hey man, these chicks are delicious." Oh, Daedalus, get in there. Oh, you tasty. Oh, your little brother's salted too. Get it up in there. Oh, yeah.
Now picture that echoing all the way through these catacombs.
And
so,
Triple like a ding dong, baby. Oh.
Who's on this mausoleum level?
so right now it's just basically us and the warriors who remain on the ground, but
I want to
basically
know
they're either
about
running
the
away at this point or being
There are
consumed.
children huddled in the corner.
I want to know about the dead. The living are no use right now.
Oh, okay. Oh no, like basically there are sort of like half acidified, basically like consumed in gastric acid corpses that are kind of lying like this. They look basically like drained of vigor and desiccated at this point, sucked clean of marrow, and really not much use to anybody except someone who maybe can deal in corpses.
Yeah,
I'll get to them later for a snack attack. Oh.
Do any of them have names?
So, but the those interred here are digested too, or what?
Oh, you mean in the mausoleum level? I was talking about the corpses of the newly dead. No, there are all sorts of heroes that are dead here. So at this mausoleum level, this is a place where honored dead are also buried. I mean, the city has a long history, so there are a lot of honored dead at this point. So there are stacks and stacks of dead heroes here.
I say, you go do your thing. I'm going to do something else.
And so I'm like, I hop off of you and salute and say, yes! And go!
Charge the tripe.
I am literally charging the tripe with my appendix weapon.
Ooh, fast food. Oh, yeah, come to that.
I'm sorry if I'm lying to him, but this is really fucking funny. I'm sorry. I'm just...
So what are you doing, Carlos?
Okay, so basically, I'm going to just sort of like take 1 second, because I am a warrior. I mean, I don't just charge and blindly. I'm just going to sort of like look at the thing and imagine I'm going to visualize my victory. And so my victory is going to look something like this. I am going to spleen my way, charging as fast as I can, all the way up to the standing millipede stomach's head. And I am going to just come down crashing upon it with such a thunderous blow that it is going to stun it. It's going to release whatever's left of the victims that it has in its many millipede arms. And then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but you've been standing still and quiet for a long time. Open your eyes, baby.
with that distant look in your eyes.
Yeah, just that middle distance.
This is going to be so great. All right, well, I think while you're doing that, I'm finding a hero, a long dead hero, and I'm going to see if I can call them back from the waters of the underworld, because that always goes well, right?
Nice.
I need to find somebody though. I need to find somebody and figure out what they want. Is stuff written here? Are these people who write?
There's certainly petroglyphs everywhere, and if you can interpret the petroglyphs, you can certainly figure out the story.
Yep. Then I will find somebody with a name. Should I come up with a name? Is it easier for me?
Yeah, you do it just quickly.
We got Doc Fall in the comments.
Great. Okay.
You are killing it, Hope. Thank you.
What is Doc Fall's story in the petroglyphs?
Let's see. They were a mighty warrior who battled against the entire army of Bosch and defeated them single-handedly, one at a time over the course of a month. They challenged each one of them to a duel every night for a month and defeated every single one of them one at a time.
Wow.
And
Can you imagine being the last guy and being like, I can take him?
it's like, nah, this is a leap year, baby. I'm out.
And what did Docfall want as a reward?
What do the gods think?
What is this? It's the leader of the monster.
Immortality.
Immortality?
Ooh,
Shit.
hey!
Great. All right. Yeah. So Docfall is probably stuck in the waters of the underworld and can't find their way out. So I will come up to the desert mummified corpse and whisper in his shriveled ear to
Look at the cat.
if it comes back, it will once again seize the hearts of armies and monsters. Would you roll my dice? Oh, did you just do that?
I have not rolled your dice yet. So this
Okay.
is. Let me try the right dice up. Yep, this is Joshua. Right, Joshua, go for the green, baby.
I was kind of hoping to get crap. This is, bargaining with the dead is a kind of a best time to get terrible rolls. Great. So I made them an offer.
So Joshua, for people playing, just to be clear, how did you win this now?
I got at least 1, 5, or 6, and I got 2. I didn't get any more, so I don't get any destiny out of the deal. So that means that I get to choose 2 out of this list. Now, I don't think I want to. Oh, wait, my promise is for them to come along with me. Yeah. Right,
show your screen so they know.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I gotta
You
say,
did get more gold dice than black dice.
I did.
You did.
So, so somebody who already I have a deal with can make a further demand, and that includes you, Abzoom Zoom Zoom.
And me.
Oh yes, right. You're right. That includes both of you. Oh my
Now, can they both make a demand, or is only one of them?
Yeah, only one can. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Zoom's kind of occupied.
Yeah, I think it's you, man.
I mean, and you're not required to. Shul Habab can too.
Yeah. So what? Yeah. Gods, should I demand something? Should Shul Habab?
Yeah, one of you play the part of Shulabab. What do you want?
Oh, I think you totally should make a demand. This is like a big deal, right?
I mean, I would want to. I mean, Manapaz, he's aware that if he gets another name, he's going to have to tell this guy. But if he keeps making demands of this guy while he gathers up names for him.
Yeah. Good point.
So yeah, I'm gonna butt in and I'm gonna be like, when this guy's following you around, make sure that he's looking out for me whenever it is that you're asleep.
Oh, all right. Yeah, great.
Wait, can you say that one more time? Look out for you when.
Look out for me whenever Shulek's asleep.
Let me add this, shorten this.
That way, if this dude's asleep, I've got an immortal zombie guy that can watch over me too.
Nice.
Okay, that we'll have to remember what that means. Great. So, who is playing Docfall here? Who's got to come all the way back from the waters of the underworld? So, this might be while Manapa is doing stuff.
Yeah, I can play Docfall for right now.
Okay, yep.
So, is what you hear. Docfall speaks. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna. They need a way to find their way back from the waters of the underworld. Are you
gargling?
Just in the waters of the underworld.
Are you? Do you need help?
I understand that.
Is all they want to get out? I'll pull them out out of the waters of the underworld.
And they just like spit out like 45 gallons of water. Like, oh, I have been drowning for 400 years. Jesus Christ. They know. Exactly. They're like, oh, don't worry, just another minor deity. Just. Who is it that pulls me out from the underworld? What is your name?
I am Shulek.
You are not Shulek. Don't lie to me.
Rude.
Tell me your name.
I see you've met one like me before. My name is Mr. Burns.
What's your first name?
I don't know. I am Elliot.
Elliot. Hello, Elliot. You must have had mighty power to be able to pull me back from my prison that has held me for so long.
Well, it's a prison to which we all must go, but it takes someone special to come out. I brought you for good reason, though. Your city is again under attack by this monster, and I gesture to Zoom Zoom Zoom, who is waxing poetic about how great it's.
The long one, not the blobby one with the appendix.
Oh, good point. Yes, I know they're both monsters in some way, but
right. It's just like, should I just take them all out? Should I just like waste the whole bunch of them?
One of them is helping.
Okay.
No, it doesn't look like it yet. He's a visual guy. He pictured it in his mind.
Let's see. You are old. Have you come back as a mummy, or are you as you died?
Oh, so basically, I'm immortal according to chat. So since I came out as immortal, I'm actually looking better than ever. I've actually kind of like almost like metastasized a little. Like I keep growing, but since things don't die on me anymore, I'm kind of like bulging in odd kinds of ways, and I'm become kind of turgid.
Could you maybe have pulled him through his mural? So when he came through, he's also got all these gems and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I'm motherfucking encrusted, baby. Yeah.
It's like reached into the wall, and the wall kind of rippled, and then that's how you found him in the waters and then pulled him through.
Love it.
Fucking fabulous.
You're big, right?
So I'd say that's beautiful and inscribed for sure.
Yeah, so I've got petroglyphs all over me. I've got gems all over me. You know, I'm basically living my history in my land.
Yeah, and you're known to all, at least around here.
Yeah.
Great. And your name is how do we spell that? Dakfal.
Dakfal.
Thank you.
And so I'm going to reach back into the wall, and I'm going to grab my mighty bronze axe, which carries the name of Durg, and to Durg, I say, I don't need any more information, and I'm going to charge off and, basically try to defeat the creature before Zum 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 stops thinking.
Just want to say, Joshua, you have a shit ton of dice.
I do. Yeah, I know. Just got another 6 dice. So keep in mind that you'll notice that as I get more dice, you guys get to say what the further demands on me are more and more, demands, which is why it's there's no real answer for how many you should have. Zoom 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 has a similar issue with trophies, but has not seized any trophies. Passed up an opportunity for a trophy, in fact. That while that's not happening, you don't have as many dice as for instance I do right now. So Dakfal is going to he's going to defeat my enemies.
Sorry, Josh, before you move forward, we just remember, what is a Faded Hero's win condition?
That you do what you've been told to do, and so you have a general charge to go defile this name. And so what you want to do to succeed is gain trophies. That's how you get bigger. What you want to do to win is get a lot of glory, which you do by rolling your dice a lot and doing great feats in front of other people. in general, doing stuff, you if you do those things that those four actions that you can take, I think 3 of the 4 of them can give you glory, and you have more. You just ambiently get glory by doing things. 4s, if you're yelling your name and brandishing your trophies, glory just comes to you when you roll 4s. Yeah, so in 3 of the 4 of those. Sorry, 2 of the 4 of those. Test yourself and lead your followers are how you get more destiny.
Right. Okay. So I'm assuming, at some point, Ab is going to be able to test himself by trying to drop an appendix on this thing's head.
Yeah.
You can do that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Ab kind of like looks and he sees this charging, gleaming, glistering, monstrously large human with an even larger axe, like charging forward. And so now he's like, okay, it's go time. And so at this point, I'm going to try to execute the plan that I envisioned, where I'm going to run up the vertical belly of the millipede stomach, and I am going to just try to mash in its head with my unholy appendix.
Well, first, Carlos, can you just remind me how many dice you had? Because I think I might have pressed the button.
I think I have. I can show you my screen again just to be sure, but I think it was like 6 dice total, like 4 and 2, 4 gold, 2. But no, I had 4 extra, so maybe it was 6 and 4. I'll show you my screen.
That's what I think. Okay, that's what I think you had. But I've been so long since I seen your screen. I was like, God, he has a lot of dice. I didn't realize he had a lot of dice.
Not nearly as much as Josh.
I think you have four dice of jet, and you have 6 dice of gold.
Yeah, that sounds right to me. So this is what I see here. So yeah, that's right. 6 dice of gold. So yeah.
And I am helping you right now. So if you're gonna name I have to look up my own rules, because the horrible thing about this is when you design the game, you remember every way the rule worked in your tests.
Exactly right. You have that superposition.
So am I any of these 3? Am I any of these 3? Am I desirable, loyal, or mighty?
You're definitely mighty
at this point. Yeah.
All right, so I can give you one of my destiny dice in order to add to your roll.
Yeah, let's take it.
Yep. So I'm
that's
going to mark off
give you dice of gold.
That will give you dice of jet, because I'm a mortal thing as far as you're concerned. I now have 0 destiny, so if I die, it sucks.
All right, roll it.
All right, so here I go
in the form of Dockfall leaping to your aid.
Right, and so excellent. I'm coming down. I'm screaming, "Spleeless!" as I come down.
Boom.
Squealy spoon.
So you are testing yourself.
Shall I roll that again to see what that?
Nah,
It doesn't matter.
He's got it now.
For your purposes. Actually, I think it's a 4.
Yeah, it looks like a 4.
It looks like a 4,
so you do get a destiny for that 4. You also get 3. You are.
Oh, you cut out a little bit.
Oh, sorry. You get 3 of the 4 of test yourself, and 4s would turn themselves into destiny. It looks like you've got 1 there under the black die.
There's another one.
There's a black one that's a 4 as well. Yep.
Oh yeah, sure. There's. All right. Yep. So you get 2 destiny there.
Check. All right. And now, as I look at test yourself, I could either seize 1 destiny and take followers as a trophy. Succeed in this trial, you are neither harmed nor shamed, and no other is harmed. Yep. I think I'm going to take the following. I'm trying to think of what's funniest here. I think I will definitely seize 1 destiny and take followers as a trophy from among the witnesses. I will. Neither harmed nor shamed.
Good.
And I will succeed, but I will not take no other is harmed.
I have a way to plug into that, actually.
So the people who are here to be harmed are are Manapa and Shulek, who just took on another name, which I'd have forgotten. And there are a bunch of people from the city here.
Right. And also Duck, whatever his Darth Maul.
Oh,
Doc
yes,
Fall?
right.
Doc Fall.
Yes, right. Yep. And furthermore, this is not an entity who will get hit and then give up. So this is a mighty enemy. It has a will. So we're going to.
Have to do multiple things.
Yep.
Oh, did you just? Am I gonna have to shake a bitch? Oh, motherfucker knows
just
kung
smack
fu.
me with that nasty ass appendix.
Page 39.
Well, I know crazy. And look at these arms.
All right. So.
Oh man.
So you can crush it. It will probably fight on already harmed. In fact, I will say it will fight on already harmed, and will describe what they do. If they do not if you do not subdue the companion, or sorry, if they do not subdue the companion on their next action, they will find themselves at the mercy of the companion, who may make a further demand or kill them. So, yeah. So the strike the blow that you dealt, crushes it to the floor, and you guys did a 1-2. Doc Fall went low and you went high, so you're coming in with an overhanded blow, and Doc Fall is coming in to the middle with the axe, and the axe slices in, and this purple ichor sprays out on Doc Fall.
My tummy. Vespers.
But now it's just mad. So it
done it now.
It lifts you up and smashes you into the ceiling of the catacomb.
But you're not harmed. Or shamed. It looked totally cool.
No, I mean it will just crush your bones. Now, I recommend that you don't take it crushing your bones, that you test yourself in some way.
So, okay, so just mechanically, so I understand, because when I did it, it's like I succeed in this trial and I was neither harmed nor shamed.
Yep.
So that sort of effect ended as soon as it started to react. Is that the mechanically how it works?
Yep. And when I said it crushes your bones, you can object to that because it has not happened unless you just decide to take it for some reason. You're obviously not going to. You're going to fight back against it, but that's what it's doing.
Right. It's attempting to crush me, basically. I don't know that I have bones, but basically it's trying to burst my spleen or hood.
It's attempting to burst you. How about
Right.
that?
Exactly.
I'm gonna
crushing you, and it's going to burst you.
Oh, you're gonna be walking
Now,
for a month.
While all this is happening, this is a whole lot of distraction. And I'm in the middle of a giant, richly decorated place. So I'm gonna thieve.
Yeah.
Some of this
That's a
stuff.
great plan. Yeah.
Excellent. So do you want to thieve first, or do you want me to roll first?
Yeah, let's see what this thieving is happening while you're having this fight back there.
Because I was gonna say, I might get harmed. I might be the other that's harmed. Oh no, I'm good. Okay. Potentially.
You gotta say what you do. Don't say the
changing. Hold on. Let me roll.
Don't say the name of the action. Say what you're doing. We're actually the judges of what you're actually doing.
So I'm looking around, and so you pulled that guy through that wall, and I'm seeing that. I'm like, oh, this is these things are a pathway to the waters, and if I want to maybe summon up another one of these guys, maybe I could just bring along some of these gems with me wherever I go, and I can use it as a conduit to summon them up wherever I want. So I'm going to find a different mural while everyone is fighting and there's goo flying all over the place and people are being summoned up and all that other stuff. And I'm just kind of like from off one of the walls, maybe with a dagger, and kind of worm one out or something like that.
Yeah, roll it. Oh, I guess you already rolled it.
Yeah, I didn't roll it. I just changed it. Here we go. Thieve.
And wow.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, this 2 strikes and 2 destiny. That's a great roll.
Yeah.
It's actually
and
pretty good. Yeah.
The gold didn't even outroll the jet.
I'm gonna mark myself 2 destiny. But now
yeah, sorry, Hope.
Almost. It's okay. So now I have 2 options. Oh, do I need to share my screen so you can see?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me share my screen. Yeah.
So you can take what was theirs, claim it for your own. You can be unharmed, and you can not know, and people cannot know that you took it for now. I recommend options 1 and 3.
Right.
Uh-oh,
Uh-oh.
we've lost you.
Nah.
Oh, we're back. Robot accordion sounds.
Yeah, hold on a second. The screen. No.
I cut out for a second there. It looks like.
Oh, welcome back.
Yeah, so try sharing that again because it was a little bit of a glitch.
Maybe that was a weird share
Zoom figure.
malfunction. Screen to share. Better?
There we go.
You can say okay. So take what was theirs, and they do not know you took it for now. So I'm gonna go with those two, but that does mean that I'm possibly, if people decide it, get harmed. But it doesn't mean that I take damage, right? It just means
Not
that
necessarily.
I got harmed in some way, shape, or form. So maybe in all of the tussle, I get the gem out. I'm not looking at what's going on around me, and I get swiped and banged against a wall or
Yeah,
something.
I think that's
like
exactly
that.
what happens. Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking you got sprayed by some ichor. Just
Yeah. I got it in my eyes. It's in my mouth. It's in my
hold on.
mouth.
You just pried this out of the wall, and you are bashed by this monster, and momentarily you fall through and splash into the waters of the underworld.
Oh crap!
And fall back as though you have your mouth packed in ice, and your eyes won't focus, and your hands are clenched into little claws, and you've still got this thing clenched in your hand, and you just sort of fall over and thunk on the ground.
Wow. Wow.
Oops.
and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, this sucks, and then I'm like, shit, I can't move. Shit, I can't move. They're gonna see I have it. And I'm just like desperately trying to like roll myself over so they don't see me holding this gem. That's obviously a sacred heirloom of this tribe.
So you lose a mortal die of jet.
Okay. All right.
And zoom zoom zoom. You've just been you're being scrushed right now.
Yeah, I'd like to not be. So I'd like to roll to not be first.
Not be scrushed action. So what are you gonna do about it?
So yeah, let me look at my character sheet so I can determine actions. I am going to one of the things is I seized one destiny to take a follower as my trophy. Right? So I think I'm going to call to my followers and I'm going to say, rush the beast now and topple it over!
This is like the young bravos from the town who are here to fight it, and they're rallying behind you now. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, I say, swarm! And basically I want to swarm the beast and topple it over before it has a chance to knock me over.
Yeah,
that was
great.
not a roll. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Wait.
Whoa,
No,
all right.
this is the roll.
Okay.
This happens. Right. Oh man.
The physics are too realistic in this game. Doink.
Doink.
Here we go.
Okay. 1, 2.
So 2 successes.
I think he's
destiny.
missing a gold die. He's missing a gold die, it looks
What?
like.
Oh yeah, one gold die went away.
Yep. God damn it.
All right, well, fine.
We saw what it was though. It's good.
We knew what it was. It wasn't a
fine.
win. Yeah.
So yeah, 3 strikes, 2 destiny. And you are leading your followers. So you're making them a promise in leading them, right? The promise is probably that you're going to defeat their city's monster.
Yeah,
right?
basically, it is a promise of success if we can topple this thing over.
Now, you have rolled more successes, more hits on your dice of gold than dice of jet, which means you are now vulnerable to a
It's the
demand
other
of your
way
great
around.
name.
Oh,
It
should
says it on
only-
Fated Hero.
Oh no, I'm sorry. This is right. With a fated here, it's the other way around because you accrue mortal things, and the immortal things become jealous. So you're sitting pretty right now.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Okay,
I was
guys,
super
this is,
excited to screw you over. No, I'm
this
kidding.
this adventure is starting to reach its climax. However,
It is
10 o'clock. So let's say one more round of action, I guess.
Yeah. I actually think this is probably gonna sew up this particular adventure pretty quick here.
Okay.
So, that was an act of leading my followers.
Yep,
So I achieve all that I promised. Or I guess let me see how many dice roll. I have 3, right? So I can do 3 of the 4.
You can pass up the destiny.
Yeah, I was gonna just say I'll just take the other 3.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, great. So they swarm over it, and you pummel it down to the ground.
Nope, cut out a little bit.
It is at your mercy. You can make a demand of it,
Okay.
and
So-
if it doesn't concede, you can kill it.
Oh snap! You hit me in my giblets. Oh.
And so I'm gonna get real close to it now. I'm gonna be like, okay, darling,
Oh, baby.
you have 2 choices: either die now at my hand, or get in my spleen. Come inside me and become a part. We're gonna rebuild this god one organ at a time, and then I will be the god.
How about you get into my spleen?
No, you're getting in mine. You don't have a spleen, dude. You're just a stomach and a millipede.
Oh, don't put my stuff out there. What is that?
So I give it its choice: either die or get in my spleen.
Oh, baby, that's freaky. Spleen on spleen action.
Leading to follow your passion for another now.
Should we should just go back upstairs, shouldn't we?
Yeah, this is like close the curtains, start the bass music.
No, baby, get closer. So, yeah, you guys got to figure out what you're gonna do with this guy.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? It's up to you, Carlos.
Wait, so I get to choose what it does, or
Yeah, that's what you said. To
either die or get in my belly.
and it gave you some bullshit, so you can kill it, or you can let it go and it'll come back at you. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, wait. So it refused? Is that what happened? I missed that part.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I mean. So I'm just talking. I'm just making shit up, but I'm not part of the game really. So
Yeah,
you guys,
sure.
so it'll
the
be
game.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, there you go. So fuck your noise.
All right, so I'm going to kill it and then eat it.
One way or another,
Good.
it's going in.
You can go in my you can go in my body
I
after
think
or before I kill you.
I think this is our moment for our.
No, so basically I will ingest it, but it will be reborn again as basically the body part that I was inhabiting, so that I can basically rebuild Ignat and take it over organ by organ.
So I think and let's have a little bit of an epilogue here. Like you're gonna tell what a terrible person this monster is and where it came from.
Oh yeah.
And
I'm gonna recover.
yeah, you're gonna recover. That's gonna take a while. But I think the city's okay. Like we're out of range of our enemies right now.
At least from the bottom. Like we don't know what's happening with the storm.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah. So what is happening when we come back out of the catacombs? Where I'm leading this 400 years dead ancestor of the city back into the town square.
Yeah, I think as we try to exit the city, we find that the doors that seal the top from the bottom city are too heavy to lift because they are so covered in sand.
Oh,
and
wow.
basically, the city has been absolutely absorbed by the desert.
Wow.
Oh, that's where I want to stop the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
I think we might have some
So
writers
yeah,
among us.
just kind of like put my hand on the door, look back at all the riches, and be like, "This isn't gonna go well."
And Steve.
I've got so many riches.
Wow. So first, guys, that was fantastic. So much fun. Particularly like how the story playing. Joshua's again, it's his story, it's his game, but definitely a lot of parts where the other players are taking over the storytelling, and it helps one of the people asking questions. And thank you to the gods if either one of them are still here.
I think Hope is
Hope,
here.
yeah.
Right?
Hope is still
Hope.
here. Yep.
We
No,
still
no,
have
I-
hope, guys. We still have hope.
And Pete's here too, I think, right? We have 6 people total.
Yeah, and Pete too. Yeah.
Let's see. Yep. So I think Hope's still here. So thank you, Hope, for your help. That was really fundamental to.
She was still on
Hey,
desecration.
I got you your desecration. I got it right here. And it
I mean, I literally ate the stomach of the god you hate, so.
So
you got it.
So, there's any final thoughts from the players, from Joshua?
Oh yeah, that was a ton of fun. It was really fun to do that kind of storytelling. I think one of the things that's really fun is the beholden mechanic, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to be wound into promises that I finally can't keep.
Yeah, I love that it's most role playing games the story is dictated by the dice, and this game the dice are dictated by the story. So
Yeah.
it's definitely really interesting to kind of flip the script entirely.
Yeah. The function of the dice is to give you creative constraints, so you don't wind up with a dead ball. That's the only
Right.
thing they do.
Right. So not everything's a MacGuffin, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Right.
I guess I think what I really enjoy the most is the collaboration, where one person takes over. They kind of see they kind of see what the other, after a while you know where the other person wants to go with their character, and you're keeping that in mind as you move forward in the adventure, knowing that at some point you're going to get that thing, or the dice are going to tell you no, you're going to get something else, which is just simply going to continue the game, which I think is really, really enjoyable. Technically, I feel like, gosh, let me know if I'm wrong. Unless you could roll horribly, and then enough people die with other people playing. Say, okay, let's just do a restart. Let's do another adventure.
Should you die out of the gate, it's not usually going to happen, because you'll usually take things other than just taking it on the jaw right out of the gate. But even if you die, there's going to be somebody you want to play, and you'll just pick up with that.
Yeah. I also think it's really cool that again, from a mechanics standpoint, I know a lot of gamers think, oh, the stats, give me the thing that gives me the boost, give me that, give me the, and you kind of collect. It's almost like Cyberpunk. No matter what setting it is, you're strapping these things to your body that like gives you more and more power. Be it a +1 longsword of fire or an actual mod in your brain or something. But I got like nothing, and I had a blast. Like I didn't add any names. Because like right off the bat, you were like, "You're gonna give me all the names you get," and I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna get any names then." So, so like this entire time, like people are like getting trophies and names, and I'm like, "Yes, get more power, so I can follow you around and throw you at my enemies." Because the more powerful you get, the more likely you are to keep me from getting caught by my guy. So like it's almost behooves me to just increase your power and not worry about how much power I have. So it's a really cool dynamic.
More likely that when there's a bad die roll, you're the one who's going to get the slingstone in the eye.
True,
Get your face shoved into the afterworld.
I know. I might be half dead, but I'm not all the way dead.
Not all dead. Very important distinction.
Only mostly dead.
I do want to say there's a Discord that Hope knows about that I should have been talking about. Where the hell's Discord? Here it is. Let me get an invite for it if you want to play over there, because there's a bot that does a really great job of rolling the dice.
Yeah, and it'll give you names if you just type in "draw from the well of names." You just hit that, and then boom, you just get a name.
Oh, that's what you were using. Liam, you were using the Discord app, or you were playing?
A little bit, yeah. I was pulling stuff just from the PDF too to see how fast it was, and as you all saw, it was fast. Yeah. But if you want it even faster, the Discord's been really good too.
Yep. And it's really weird how for some it gives you consistently really good names, and I don't know exactly. Every so often, you're like, no, that's too stupid, but I want to say over 90% of the time, you're like, oh, that's good. That might not be this guy, but like the next time you need a name, you're like, I'm going back to that Shubub guy. That's a good name.
Yeah. And as you're doing that, I mean, if you're playing with the same people long enough, even if you're not, you like kind of building canon. You can be going back. You can be going back to. Is there a wiki like for your site for different things that have been?
Well, actually, the Discord has a book of names in it that for interesting stuff that people have come. It's actually really important that the canon that exists is what you remember when you start play again. Like it might be fun to have your whole. Oh yes, Hope says,
sure.
If you're a name dealer, you can just write the spare names down and use them for people you don't like. What you remember is like it's like mythology, so it just sort of evolves as you remember it, and however you remember it is how it really happened. Who cares about what your notes said? That's not the point. Which is why I don't really care what you write down on your character sheet when you start the game either. Like it's The only problem is if none of it means anything. If you just got a ton of dice and nobody knows what any of these entities are and don't know how to hold a sword over your head or anything, that's where it falls flat. So you have to tell everybody who they are and what they want.
That
Joshua,
ties in
since
with what
people
you
might not be
said.
able to see the chat in the video, you should
Oh, right.
you should put this in like a Word document and make it big, and then share your screen
That's a
so
good
that
idea.
everybody can see the
Yes, I
Discord.
will do that in this way. I will just paste it in.
Also, you know what I can do? I mean, since I think the chat gets saved as a text file along with the video.
Oh, it does. Great. Okay.
So I will also when I share this, I'm going to share this on not streaming, like afterwards, the videos. People who weren't here, they can experience kind of the show.
Great.
And I'll put that information there.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. It was a ton of fun.
Yeah,
Thank
this is
you, thank you very much. Thank you again, Carlos Hernandez, aka Ab Zoom Zoom Zoom, Shula and Shulak, Joshua AC Newman, and Manapa,
otherwise known as Bishua.
Liam Burke. We are going to play again on November 18th, and that's going to be, it's a Wednesday, same time, 7:30, with Danny Lore, Nino Cipri, and CSC Cooney. And I hope you had an enjoyable time. And if you're watching this recording, then please subscribe to the Kaleidocast. It's only $4, and you can be there for the next game as well. And I'm going, yeah, $4. 4 times 2. It's 8. It doesn't help me.
No, it was 6 for the better one.
Oh, there you go. Oh yeah. Oh, 6. Yeah. Your screen's being disappearing behind your background. Or $6, and you get all this plus all the digital art, the exquisite corpse story with the majority of our authors. If you think this game was crazy, you just when you see what people are writing. Anyway, and you get all the digital art and the audio as well. So please, thank you very much, and everyone have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.